Welcome to something to talk about. Really loud. Welcome to something to talk about.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Something to Talk About with my live stream. We are talking about Iron Island houses from the A Song of Ice and Fire lore. I hope you know what the A Song of Ice and Fire lore is. It's them Game of Thrones books. I'm Taco. I'm your host. I got 3 people. I'm going to bring them on, and then we're going to go through everything single A Song of Ice and Fire Sigil. And let's just start with how they are down here, which you guys can't see. So any order, really. We're going to bring in one of those interesting nerds. They formed a club. I wonder if they have sandwiches. Tom, how's it going?
No, I'm afraid we have exclusively melts over here. Nothing but
Club
melts.
melts?
We've had one po' boy the entire time. Hello, it's great to be on the show.
How's it going? All right, and then next we have our favorite crazy person who I think his apartment's just one big kitchen, and that is Rust.
What's up?
Do you have the rest of your apartment, or do you just live in a kitchen?
No, you know the background from my videos? That's right over there.
Oh.
With the bookshelf and everything.
Yeah. All right. Sometimes.
But there's no like desk for me to have my smokables on, so. That's why I record. That's why I do live streams over here.
Gotta have your equipment. I have everything on a TV tray. I'm not a joke. All right, and then we have a brand new one. So everybody, be gentle. He's new to the scene. He came on like a freaking wrecking ball with some Stannis theories. He's all the way from the moon, and he's Moon Man. How's it going?
You don't have to be gentle.
Not my first rodeo, big boy.
Thank you so much for having me. I am very glad to be here. I have no idea about any of these Ironborn sigils. I've literally, for my videos, been researching the North, the Riverlands, and the Vale sigils, because we're literally creating all new banners for my videos. Which is insane, I admit, but no, I will have nothing to offer on the Iron Islands. But hey, really nice to meet all you guys, Rust and Tom. I like your videos. It's really cool to be here.
Thank you.
Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad. Also, Michael will show up eventually to talk about stuff, but he said go ahead and start. So I want you to know, Mr. Man, that. Dude, no one does research. You're going to be in the same boat as everybody else. Like, I remember the first time I was, like, stunned. I'm like, oh, you don't even know this one? Like, come on, guys. And I had to really, like, dial back my expectations, especially when it comes to you theorist types. Because us lore types, no offense, all we do is dive into this crap. And you guys are off, like, trying to figure out how Tyrick Lannister is Quaithe or whatever. And we're sitting over here just memorizing sigils like nerds.
wait, this isn't just an improv show. We have to know things.
It's definitely an improv show.
I don't even actually double check the topic until I'm already in here.
Dude, you like never asked. I'll say it, and then I get a KK, and I feel like I could have said anything to you, and you would have said KK. Like, hey, we're not doing
it's just
it, we don't like
what when you send it to me, my brain just says, Thursday, 10 o'clock, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then once I'm in here, I'll reopen your message to see what the topic is.
Oh, that works. All right, a little bit of improv is the highest form of comedy. Thank you, Lux. And a little bit of housekeeping before we go forward. And going forward isn't even that much of going forward. It's pretty much just hanging out. But go ahead. Please be active in the chat. Say everything. Everyone's down there. But if you do want to make sure that your comment is said, please do a one of those super chats. And if you do want to donate money, but don't want 50% of it to go to the YouTube overlords, I do have a PayPal in the description. But now that we have that done, let's go.
Are we going to be doing this quiz style? Like, do I need to keep the chat closed?
None of the points don't matter. Everything's made up, and the points don't matter. The points are like Theon's fingers. They don't matter. I wasn't ready.
The timer didn't go off yet.
The points are like Theon's fingers. They're difficult to count on.
Oh, there you go. but no one keeps track. So it's depending on how competitive you want to be, because the first time I did this, I didn't want it to be a competition. It just became one. So it's still not a competition. No one's writing down points. I am putting up the house. I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds. If you can guess it, you can guess it. If you can't, I'm just going to say it, and then we're going to move on and talk about either the sigil or the house or whatever.
I badly want this to be a competition. I want to win it. And I know that I will not.
yeah, you didn't do any research. I badly want to win this.
Yeah, I could have gone and looked at them all, but that felt like cheating, you know, especially because I watched the other day.
That's called studying.
Yeah, but Russ, you didn't learn the topic until we started, so it would be cheating if you did research.
I watched the North stream you did recently, and I knew a ton of them because I've been engaged in a process of researching and with my friend and collaborator Aaron creating original Northern House banners for the last 3 weeks. And so I was like I knew all the details. I'm looking at the banners going like, oh, that's actually wrong. And when you said like, oh, this is going to be a trick one, like which one is real, I was like, oh, it's going to be the Stark running direwolf and Rob's direwolf head before you put the images up. But
oh my god!
This week I'm going to be useless.
Well, that's fine. You'll know more than you think. Let's get moving. I also have downloaded a lot more clips. So, but I don't I just have them all for specific occasions. So
like you purchased part of a click farm?
No, I don't know. That sounds way too easy. I just I just
no, what are clicks?
Clips.
Oh, clips.
I have an impediment. I don't know if it's my accent or my impediment, but like people, God, what was it? I did a short on House Volmark, which we'll get to, and I said like, oh, this guy's he's like described as the Lord as a young man or a young boy, but it's like he's 1 in 6, which means he's 16, which doesn't seem like a young boy. And somebody just goes, 1 in 6 means 16. And I'm like, yeah, those are the words I use. So do I just not talk well? Like he must have thought I meant 60 or something. I don't know. So I
definitely have auditory processing issues. So
yeah. All right. Let's do one. You guys know this one? They're either going to be fish or ships or bones. That's freaking Iron Islands, bro.
I think I know this one.
I can give hints. I got hints.
Go ahead. Hit us with a hint.
Christopher?
Yeah, I think I know. Oh, yeah, I think this is.
I know that one. Then I mean that's easy.
Yeah.
Well, then say it.
Somebody say it.
This is the Botley.
Botley.
Yeah, Christopher Botley. I can't hear Christopher Botley without thinking in Sopranos when Aide says Christopher. Like that's only how I hear Christopher. Literally,
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm never gonna be able to read it any other way now.
Dude, right? Dude, Viper is going off in the comments.
You must have crawled under there for warmth. Anyway.
Oh my god! What's the name of the dog?
Doug. Dog is Doug.
No, the dog that crawls underneath Christopher for warmth.
Shoot, I should know that. I've only watched the show 100 times.
Yeah, me too. It's blowing my mind. It isn't Precious. Cosette.
Cosette, yep.
Yeah, Cosette. Yeah. Oh my god. Sopranos, anyone? Is this not a Sopranos live stream?
Oh hell yeah.
I'm afraid this is at most 75% a Sopranos live stream.
I haven't seen it in years, so like I don't like don't remember all the characters' names. I'm not going to get all the references, but I regard it as one of maybe 2 or 3 actually good, like, prestige TV shows that ever happened, you know?
It's funny, when I talk about my favorite television shows, like, a few of the prestige shows show up, but, like, you know, then Avatar: Last Airbender and Beavis and Butthead show up too, so, like, I worship
quality
at the altar.
television right there, all right?
I'm all right. If you're gonna tell me that Avatar is not prestige, then what is this? Yeah, and then I got like The Wire is up there too.
Yeah. No wait, but Avatar: The Last Airbender. Sorry, that was a movie, wasn't it?
No, Avatar was.
Yeah.
That's a different movie.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
That was called The Last Airbender. Yeah, but that movie is god awful.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
Ong and Soker.
You love The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan, the movie. You love that.
No, I don't.
I do as well. Yeah.
Very famously popular. Famously popular, that film.
It's famous because it made a really good movie out of a really shitty TV show.
You probably like The Many Saints of Newark too.
I actually don't hate The Mini Station Newark.
I don't hate it, but I mean, I don't like
fine.
it.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I didn't watch it again.
Exactly. I'm never gonna watch it again. So,
do you guys just want to start working on one house that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sigils?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll just do the first one, and we'll do the OG first, and then we'll move into to its branches.
ooh, chronological order, eh? Daring tonight.
I got this one.
You do?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
These are the Harlaws.
Yeah, Harlaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is representative of my favorite character in the whole series.
Roderick the Reader?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Man who
As a
just
reader
wants
yourself.
to be left alone so he can read his books.
I just watched the episode of Family Guy where Peter had to take over for Death.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's classic.
Yeah.
Do you remember which Harlaw he is?
He is the Lord
Harlaw of blank.
Why do I want to say Jack Harlaw?
I don't know what you want to see. Is it Jack Harlow as a character?
I think Jack Harlow might be a professional singer.
No, I think Jack Harlow is Red Dead, the first Red Dead, not the Redemption.
That is Red Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
it's
Russ
a
is
rapper.
right.
It's a real
It's a
person.
rapper. That's a
both.
white rapper.
It's both
Yeah.
of those.
All right, I'll add Red Dead and
me.
see if that brings anything up.
Is it Red Dead Harlow, right?
Yeah, there is Red Harlow, not Jack Harlow.
Not Jack. But I'm thinking Jack Marston in Red Harlow.
Yep.
That's what did it. Okay.
Yep.
So you did say it correctly, right? Where is this Harlaw? I almost said Harlow again. Where are they from?
What is 10 Towers, Ken?
Correct. Okay, so Harlaw for 20 points.
That's a bummer because like Harlaw was the other Ironborn house I could think of a name of, and I was thinking, man, maybe when I see that sigil, it'll come to me, but no.
For some reason, some of the I took the hello, Kirsty. I took the briefest of brief looks at the Iron Island sigils, and the only thing I took away is, wow, some of these are hardcore. There's some
they're awesome.
sigils.
These are easily my favorite group of sigils, and also, so out of the ones that I did the poll to decide which one I'm doing, these ones had way less. So I will not be complaining about tangents tonight. That is the rule I'm going until later on when we are actually almost out of time. But let me show you guys some research I did. This is some hardcore research. I counted something out loud, or counted. It wasn't even out loud. Oh, Michael's here. Michael!
Completing the fantastic facial hair on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, talk about something.
Hello.
You said it.
Do the
Don't
thing.
set yourself up for that one, Michael.
Don't you hate it when people just ask you to just do your job for free?
Yeah.
What can you do? Moon Man, nice to meet you. I am aware
likewise.
of who you are, first time meeting. So
Yeah.
All
really
of us.
nice to meet you. I'm a ardent admirer of your videos and theories.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a
Especially
fan
the
of
weird
yours as
shit.
well. Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
for the record,
Thanks,
he didn't give me
appreciate
that
that.
compliment when he met me. So just
There was a lot going on at the
Mark
top of
that
this.
down.
There was a lot going on. I
marking
like
that
all
down.
of your videos.
Okay. Yeah, no, Michael's famous for the first time you watch him, you say, "What is this guy saying? There's no way that's true." And then after like the 50th, you're like, "Okay, it's starting to make sense." And then you're buying land in Mount Carmel, Texas.
Yep.
I love your work on the wall.
Thank you. Taco's the only one who's figured out that I'm secretly just starting a cult, and he's ahead of the game.
I was
got
unaware
the
we were
look,
supposed
sir.
to keep that a secret.
I'm fairly open about it.
Yeah, no, it's you can't. It's like so 70s and not tell people they're in a cult now. So now it's like you get people excited. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I finally get to
now
do
our
that.
cults have like branding.
Yeah.
Literally. How else would you sell merch?
Yeah, exactly.
And how else will you sell the cult members? Anyways, sorry.
Jared Leto's doing a cult or was doing a cult or something.
No, that's a car collection. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, Leto.
Not Jay Leno.
I'm Leto.
That's a good joke.
It is.
Jared Leto, who used to.
Wait, the dude with the chin in the car?
Show.
No, you idiot. That's Jay Leno.
And
That's
yeah,
what
he
I was
likes,
watching. Yeah,
and he
I
likes
was
cars.
watching Leno talk about his cars, and I was confusing it with like a pitch for a cult. So that makes sense.
I was like, this sounds nothing like 20 Seconds of Mars.
He likes
20
cars,
seconds
but I wouldn't
to the
call it a
Tonight
cult.
Show.
All right, should we do a sigil?
Absolutely.
So,
No, let's do something else.
Fuck it. All right, we'll do something else.
I was joking.
Hard pivot.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
I clicked the first random one I saw. All right.
Wait, hang on. I cannot. Since bits are okay, I have a question about the clips you have prepared.
Oh, wait, no, shut up. I was actually going to say something before Michael showed up, and then you can talk. Sorry, hold your thought. So Iron Islands, Riverlands, the Vale, and Westerlands were the choices. Iron Islands has 26 sigils. Riverlands has 44.
Oh.
The Vale has 31, and Westerlands has 46. So we did dodge a bullet. We may do tangents. Now, Tom, what?
I had a question. I had a question about
my clips.
Yes. So you have new clips for specific situations?
Yeah, that probably will not show up.
Can we add to the point total if we manage to get into those? Can I have a point if I get one of the sigils? Get one of the clips? Yeah. Let's go.
They are so specific, it's stupid. Like, I literally have them added. Like, if somebody brings up this one character, I have a clip for it.
Okay.
But that character has nothing to do with Iron Island sigils, but just if I have one.
That's fucking showmanship, Taco.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
But the problem is
This is what I was born
none of
for.
them are queued, so I never get to do my showmanship because none of them fucking happen. But I do just have, like, if we want to talk about something that isn't Game of Thrones, I can say this.
This isn't Game of Thrones.
Ow! If you guys keep bringing up R'hllor or Azor Ahai, I can say this.
Oh, this isn't going to be about Jesus, is it?
That one is not. I used it, like, I shoehorned it in once and I freaked people out. And yeah, I got a bunch. I now just have one that whenever I talk about a character for my show, like for my actual show, if the character dies at the end of the video, which happens about 50% of the time, I now have this one.
Poochie's dead!
And that's why I have Poochie.
You should add the she must have crawled under there for warmth.
Oh my god, I should. All right, I will. And anytime somebody like kills somebody like just out of hand, then you have Vito go, what was he barking? I was looking at Sopranos.
It wasn't
quotes,
Vito. I'm
but-
sorry. That was Syl.
Yeah, it was Syl. I was gonna do Sopranos quotes, but all the funny ones are like not 2024 appropriate.
Right.
So many of them are like it's funny because it's not okay, and I don't know if I want to just play those. But I'll find some. I think the Crawl Into There for Warmth would be good because it's the most depressing. All right, you guys want an easy one or a hard one or a medium?
We're here to do
Easy.
work.
All right, easy. I heard easy. Okay, easy. Nothing's really easy on Iron Islands. What about?
Well, thanks for bringing it up.
Oh, shut up.
Thanks for
What about this
offering.
one? It looks like the album cover for Black Sails Underneath the Sunset for AFI.
Oh hell
Uh,
yeah!
Oh, super familiar.
Kenny.
That's really cool art.
Nope,
Oh
not
my
Kenning.
God.
Dang
Oh
it.
my god! I can do whatever I want back here.
Yeah, no one can see you. But I can see
Oh no.
Yeah,
Tom.
I don't want to-
So I can see you down here. So I can just remove it whenever I want. So put that away. What do you guys got? I like that.
I already guessed. I'll let
You
other
can guess
people
all
go.
you want, man. Here,
I would start
It's House
naming Ironborn
Farwind.
houses if I could think
you
of one.
Googled it, you piece of crap.
Yeah. I pulled my phone up here and I did this and then I put it down and said
All right.
it's House Farwind.
I'm not mad, mostly because
It don't matter. None of this matters.
yeah, none of it matters. It is House Farwind of the Lonely Light, and I love that sigil so much. And Rust. Rust likes to cheat.
I do.
Somebody does. I mean,
Is it is Farwind the guy who gets up and says something stupid at the King's Moot?
stupid? Did you say something stupid? He's the rightful king of the Iron Islands. He was robbed. He wasn't put on all the ballots.
I like him too. Look, I like him too. I was channeling the response he gets. You know,
Dude, he literally.
I accidentally voted for Pat Buchanan.
in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
keep
was a-
writing
it was
in
a,
less
it was a
people.
big. I don't know what was happening.
Taco was just very in favor of the Farwind, like in the primary. He was just really in favor of the seal boning candidate, and he's still mad that he lost. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm center wind, but I don't identify with those far wind guys.
The other Farwinds, not of the
I was
Lonely
told
Light,
that there would
don't
be no
like the
fact
Farwind.
checking at this King's Moot.
Oh my God. He said it. He said
You know, when you compare it to other countries, the wind isn't that far.
Yeah.
It's more
I
central.
almost wanted to
wind.
sit here and try to guess, is it near wind or something like?
Oh my God.
She's coming out
I'm
here.
part
She's
of
trying to
the,
sell you pine cones.
I'm
She's
part
trying
of I'm part of the radical wind.
Yeah.
Those people of the radical fars.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh, these are good jokes.
Dude, no, Michael got me because I didn't realize that we were doing that, and then when the joke hit,
Yeah.
and it's something like I say all the time. It's like, oh, you think that's far? All right.
Near
Okay.
wind, far
wanna do-
wind,
We want to do
wherever you are, wind.
You want to do another Harlaw?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Which Harlaw is this one?
that's House Harlaw.
Thank you.
I think that's House Harlaw.
I win.
You're getting kicked out, Russ. You're getting fired. You were warned.
Harlaw of the Peacock Harlaws.
Which house has a peacock? See? Oh, stop looking it up, Russ.
I only studied pirates before this. I didn't cram all of the other sigils. Someone from the Reach probably.
So
It seemed like they'd have a peacock.
there is a Harlaw, and then his mom has the peacock sigil. I was gonna help you out and say the name of the house and see if you can guess. Then
The Wind Our Steed.
Yeah, that's a great name. Or that's the Wind Our Steed. You're looking at House
Chat.
Farman. Oh yeah, that's House Farman. Okay, so do you know
The Wind is Our Steed would be the house words of Icarus
Farman.
and Daedalus.
House Serret of Silver Hill from the Westerlands. So, do you know which Harlaw has a Westerland peacock House Serret as a mom?
I couldn't think of another Harlaw. So
it's not Roderick. Not Roderick the Reader's like personal sigil, is it?
Nope, and he's of 10 Towers.
Yeah.
The one we already did, the main one.
Yeah.
One with just this scythe, which, by the way, is so badass.
Is the only time that a peacock is mentioned in the books is it Joffrey's wedding? When there's one like cooked in all its plumage or something?
Oh, is there? I don't even remember that. I'll give you I got 2 hints. Both of them are pretty good. This one carries this guy. So it's not a personal sigil, but he's in control of this branch. Carries the Harlaw Valyrian steel sword named Nightfall.
Who has that thing anyway?
He is a knight. He's often called the Knight.
Just because I know how much I know George loves his rhyming names, I'm going to go with Harry Harlaw.
So close.
Harold
Harlaw.
So close. No, it's Harris. Harris.
See, all right. I knew
Harris?
George liked the names. But I forgot to change random consonants that make it the same name but a different version. That's what I did wrong.
Dude, I hate all the Benesses and Lennises and Temeses and Nemesises and oh my god.
It's too
No,
straightforward.
He is
I love
of
it. Give me a good Christopher any day.
House Harlaw of Greygarden. I hate it when they're the same name spelled differently. Sybil. I just did my video for Sybil Glover. It is not spelled the same as Sybil Spicer, and that pisses me off. Like the same damn name.
Yeah.
Aerys Oakhart is spelled differently than Aerys Targaryen.
Yeah. Maester Lewin and Lewin Martell.
Spelled differently.
Yeah, that stresses me out.
Just like the clear, like in real life example, for example, of say someone was named Mark, it's spelled M-A-R-C like Marc-Andre Fleury, and everything else is wrong. That's
Bro, my name's literally Mark with a K.
I know.
Screw you, Michael.
That's why I had to find the example quickly.
I have a family member named Sean.
Yeah?
There's at least 4 different spellings on that one.
Got movement on that.
I thought you were going to introduce us to a new one, and I was intrigued. I was like, wait, how did they spell Sean that isn't...
It was the pause.
Yeah, I thought it was a pause to be like, guess how he spells it, and then it's one that we've never heard of before. He's
so
Sean with a Z. Wait, what?
So, you ever see the Starbucks, what's your name? It's Mark with a K.
Yeah.
Kark, K-A-R-K. That's fucking good. So I normally, when we're going off on tangents, I can play the stay on target, and I will show you that now.
Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target. Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target.
Do it again. Do it again. I was getting into it.
Next time that we need to get off a tangent, do you want me to play that one? Or I'm not going to ruin it, but one that's a little more vulgar and violent. Not violent, just vulgar.
The second one?
All right, cool.
Is that even a question?
Next time I play something like that, that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to insult you guys. Please, and some of these clips are a little mean, so I do hope that you guys know it's all just for the hell of it, and I'm not trying to actually insult anybody.
I'll take it personally if it makes for good TV.
Oh, all right, that's fine. As long as afterwards, when we have our long conversations in the green room, we just hash it out. All right.
Real Housewives.
Yeah. What about this one?
Whatever this is. That's a fish.
I don't know this.
Yeah,
one.
no. More specifically, that is the moon spirit from Avatar:
my
The Last
God.
Airbender and
He's
the
right.
North Pole.
Yeah.
Is
My
that a
first-
catfish?
No. There is a catfish sigil, but it's on the Iron Islands.
Okay. What's this whisker sort of thing on the front of its face?
My first sigil turned into the
It's a
moon.
goatee. Stop Googling them.
Oh man,
I'm zooming
That's
in
rough, buddy.
on the frickin' video.
The frickin' frackin' video.
I
Oh, by the
wouldn't
way,
even- what am I gonna do? Google a Song of Ice and Fire sigil with a fish on it?
you probably would get it. Oh, Michael, just in case, I had a question for you. I was gonna text it to you like a couple days ago, but I figured I'd just wait until we're on stream. So how about them Vikes?
Yeah, they do look shockingly very good this year.
This to me, all right? 3 weeks from now, you'll be laughing at me. So let me have it.
You guys are very good right now.
Finally,
Hello, welcome to the impromptu episode of the Football Club.
Yeah,
dude. NFL power rankings had Vikings at number 1. That has never ever happened. The years that I've taken football serious, I've never seen anyone have them at number 1. Even when they were 6-0, they were like, they're frauds. We're not going to put them up there. And then they were right. They were.
No, it is. It's worrying because like there's a chance that the Vikings have just figured out how to have good quarterbacks and that it wasn't just Kirk. Like the fact that they're making Darnold look good.
Yeah.
I
think he was a not good quarterback and he's still not that great. He's not awful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But
yeah, I think that like the fact that they've made Darnold look as good as they did means that they may have the system figured out because he's looked very bad at places that normally have bad quarterbacks. Yeah. So maybe the Vikings aren't one of those anymore.
Okay.
Which would be unfortunate.
I'm not gonna play because I brought it up. I'm not gonna play my video. I'm not gonna prompt you to talk about football and then tell you to shut up via clippage. But yeah, we will talk about football most likely if we hang out in the green room afterwards. What is this?
No idea.
All right. Here's a clue. Do you guys want a real? Here's a good one. Do you want a real world clue or a Song of Ice and Fire lore clue?
I'm here to learn.
Real world.
Yeah, we don't usually get real world ones.
The name is the name of the fish. It's house blank.
Herring.
Halibut.
Carp.
Cod.
Yes.
Really?
House cod. Yep.
Oh, no.
House cod.
I didn't know that that's what a cod looked like.
I don't know if it is either. That's just cods are they're like a really crappy house. They don't have a seat anywhere, and they're kind of just like the riffraff, the nasty like bastards of the Iron Island. Like nobody in the Iron Islands likes house cod, and no one likes any cods. And there is a character named Left Hand Lucas Cod, which leads me to believe that that's the most interesting thing about this dude is that he's left-handed. That's it. Like what you never wrote a book? Like you never did anything? Like you never
I don't think there were many of those being written in the Iron Islands.
Some have been written. Redded. Somebody read them. That's the word. Read.
They like to collect books. They don't really read them. They just collect them.
Viper got it. Man, Viper would be killing it. You guys are lucky Viper didn't show up.
Yeah, I lose this sigil guessing games. I always think I know. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen so many sigils, and then I realize like I've seen a lot of them. I've never like mentally connected them to anything. They're all sitting there in the background.
So, I got one really probably one of the coolest sigils. Period. Just one of the coolest. And I just did a short a little while ago that came out with this one, just because it's like, dude, I hope because sometimes when I do shorts for sigils, like I want the sigil to be interesting, and I want there to be something to talk about, because there are just houses that it's like, oh, it's a house of the Westerlands, and literally no characters have showed up with them. We don't know anything about them. Here's a cool sigil. Like, dang it. But then there are ones where they don't have a sigil, but like really interesting. So this one, whenever you come across a sigil this cool, you're like, God, anything. And there was enough for me to do a short. I can't remember anymore though.
Oof.
Oh.
So cool.
I remember seeing it. This
So
is one of the
cool.
hardcore ones. I don't know what it is.
So cool.
10 nooses.
Yeah, and they look like you're bowling for nooses.
Yeah,
that's a freaking pop punk band from 2004. If I've ever
they
heard
wrote they wrote 1685.
Sorry, I had cherry coke in my gullet when you said that. I was trying to remember which Bowling for Soup song was famous. Was it not Stacy's mom?
No, that's Fountains of Wayne.
Serious? Seriously? I've never heard the name Fountains of Wayne my entire life.
Yeah.
They just did the one song apparently.
That's their song. That's
my
the
friend
one.
who's came on here before, but she couldn't make it today. Jekka randomly messaged like something about the actor Jorah Mormont. She's like, was he in a something? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I only remember like Resident Evil movies that he was in and like the Lara Croft Tomb Raider. And she's like, I think he was in an Interpol video. And I'm like, well, if there was ever a reason to just spend the morning listening to Interpol. So I listened to a lot of Interpol this morning. And no, he's not in any of them. I listened to a crap ton of Interpol this morning.
Just to check. Nope.
No.
Oh, Nick Grimes referenced the Girl All the Bad Guys Want, and I haven't thought about that song in a long time.
The girl all the
bad
wait,
guy,
the girl you're on Greyjoy wants. No, I hate it. Oh my god, can I make this joke? You know what I hate about when Euron Greyjoy assaults a loved one? That you have to then beat them to death. Oh my god. Sorry, I shouldn't have made that joke. The Greyjoys are messed up,
but
right?
Welcome to
me, the worst part is the worst part about it is the hypocrisy, though, Taco. That's clearly.
What do you mean? I have not beat any loved ones.
No. The worst part about the process of Euron and the beating, it's all the hypocrisy.
I can't believe he hurt the person who I killed. Oh my god. All right, I shouldn't have made that joke. When I have second thoughts, I need to listen to them.
Nah, it's fine. We're far enough into the video. YouTube doesn't pay attention anymore.
I know. One person will be triggered. Well, the issue with these books is even fans who we've all read them, but there's things I don't want you to talk about. Like there's some really messed up stuff in these books that I'm not really comfortable discussing. Especially after I became like a dad of a daughter, there's definitely like one chapter in specific that I skip now. Like it's like, no, I can't handle that. Moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are times like there's one time like where we brought up like randomly Asha talking to like, is it her mom? Where she's just like so sad and dying. It's like, George, why? Like she could have been dead already, George.
I just listened to that chapter. Yeah, why did he have to have her relive Theon being dead every time she talks to her, like, or whatever it was? Like, it was, oh my god.
Yeah.
I just re-listened to that chapter because I did a Sybil Glover video that I recorded. That's gonna come out like November 13th or something. A little ahead. Does anyone know?
No, I don't.
Which one did I even have up? Oh, this
the
one.
10 Nooses, yeah.
Bowling for Nooses. Tom's new pop punk band. If you're not gonna get it, you're not gonna get it. It's House Meyer.
They did all the music for Phineas and Frey.
We're not trying to come up with guesses. We're trying to come up with bits until you tell us the true answer.
We're gonna get it in 3 seconds, and after that, we're gonna do bits.
Yep.
Or speaking of coming up with like making stuff up, when we did our give words to houses that don't have words, this one was our best one. Me and Michael. That was like when I got to know Michael. That was a good day. I don't like him anymore, but we had a
back then it was fun before we all know what happened.
Yeah, before it became Oh, Michael's gonna be on. Oh my god. Became a chore. Work.
If we weren't contractually obligated to appear in these every time Taco has one, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I told you guys not to sign the 5-year contract.
Tom did try to warn us, but it was too late.
It's funny because people don't know what you did. We're just gonna pretend you do. We don't know. I'm kidding. Do you remember this one?
That's is that the Kenning?
Yeah, how's Kenning? Do you remember the words we came up with?
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
I had a bit that I wanted to do about this. Oh, there we go. I had a bit that I wanted. I was looking at.
Are you acting them out behind?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Oh my god! What'd you do when the fish was up?
This reminds me of.
He was going like. Yeah, he was doing something like that when the fish popped down at one point.
This reminds me of the famous painting in the Sistine Chapel of God reaching for Adam, and it made me think that God like touched Adam against, like gave him some static electricity.
Sorry, I was just sitting on my couch. It's really dry out here. You know what it's like to live on a cloud? It is dry.
I think it's supposed to be the storm god calling down lightning, but it looks like a guy who rubbed his feet on carpet.
It's cool because Kenning is a sacrilegious in the religion of the drowned god is a very sacrilegious sigil, and I love that. Like it's almost like House Banefort kind of having the stranger on their sigil in the Westerlands. Yeah, I love the Storm God's evil, but he's our freaking sigil, you know? Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, pew pew pew. I'm still very proud of that, of pew pew pew.
Yeah.
All right, done. I have to write done on these. We're moving too fast. Everyone's gonna know this one, so I'm just gonna show off some art that Moonman gave me because, like you said at the beginning of the stream, you guys are literally putting together all your sigils, like just based off the descriptions, I'm assuming.
Yeah. This for me is like, think of it as a midlife crisis. So, I'm going all out. Yeah. The descriptions, there's the Westeros.org descriptions that they got from George 25 years ago.
Yeah.
There's I'm researching every possible mention that I can find or description of anyone's surcoat or shield or anything for anything in the text that I can find. And then it's a process of I put together like a page of research for each one of them, and then
that's so cool.
One of my best friends is a designer, artist, production designer. Her name's Erin OK. She's making them out of cut paper, actually.
That's so cool.
The idea being like we're trying to think of it like it's not a criticism. There's tons of great sigil art online. And a lot of it's really awesome. But for whatever insane reason, I was like, but I want to do all original ones, partly because it's a really fun process to go through and do this research and then
really
sit down with and to sit down with my friend Aaron and think about like, okay, what does this mean? What does all this page of shit mean? And go like, how do we resolve this into a single image? But if you're going to do that, you kind of got to pick like a framing for it as well. So I decided early on, as you'll see, like to do them as banners rather than as escutcheons, like coats of arms or shields, because no one else is doing that. And because it seems like that to me is the image, like in my mind, that I think of, it's like, yeah, they're on surcoats and shield, and maybe somebody has them in their great hall and coats of arms, but they're banners, so I wanted to do banners, and so we thought Aaron is really good at working in paper, so doing them in paper like is a sort of design limitation that's like, okay, what if this was made out of cut cloth? You know?
Yeah, well, it's a
Like,
design limitation they would have too. Like they
yeah,
weren't
potentially.
all.
I mean,
they weren't all amazing painters. Every single sigil somewhere,
right?
But, yeah,
and that's like you certainly medieval banners did sometimes paint. They did sometimes paint on silk for more detailed stuff, but often not. So like our versions are like they're not supposed to be like a universal, like this is the only sigil. They're not supposed to be the fanciest one necessarily. Like you could have the Lannisters might have like, you know, gold tassels and more like, you know, stuff going on or even a painted gold lion sometimes. But ours are like, if you did it out of just cloth that you cut and sewed together, and then I animate them as well, so they're flapping in the videos.
Yeah, I wasn't able to. Yeah, the video you sent me, I wasn't able to get into StreamYards, mostly because I'm pretty computer illiterate. I'm about as computer illiterate as a guy who runs a YouTube channel can be, and I take pride in that. Like some people are like, "Oh, just convert it into that." I'm like, I don't know. They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm not going to learn. It's the life I chose. I went to school for multimedia.
You're doing it right.
Thank you. You're doing it right too. You're killing it. So here, everyone's gonna know this one. We don't even have to guess. So that's the normal Greyjoy.
Yeah.
But this is the one that Moonman sent me, and it looks pretty dang cool.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Yeah, no, it's like scary and adorable at the same time.
That's a good read actually. Yeah, it is very cute. It's he's got scary little eyes. But,
I like the scary little eyes.
But he is kind of he's simultaneously like
I'm gonna get rid of
like
Rust.
some kind of old horrifying god and like a cute little guy.
Yeah, it's like on this flag, you don't quite have a sense of scale. You're not sure if you can like pick him up in your hands and be like, "Oh, come here, little guy," or if you have to be like running because he's the size of like a city and he's crawling out of the ocean.
So is Greyjoy described as a squid or a kraken?
A kraken.
I think it's a kraken. Yeah.
It's a kraken. Yeah. But I mean, like, what's a kraken? You know?
And that was going to be my next question. I don't know what's because there are.
I think it's a bit. I think a kraken's a big fucking squid.
It's a giant, big.
Yeah, and I do think that it's kind of true interpretation because I have seen him just as a giant squid, but then also like Clash of the Titans, it's a giant kaiju, like arms and legs.
Yeah.
So it was kind of you like my kaiju walk? This is what a kaiju does, guys. Sorry, Tom.
One challenge of like engaging in this like research project is the interpretation, and like you can take you do have to so like if they like really talk about it, and certainly in George's like description, it's a kraken, right? So you have to ask like now suddenly you're down this rabbit hole of like, well, what does that mean? What is a kraken? Well, we haven't really seen one yet. If we're going to, so you have to kind of make a guess like.
Oh my god!
You kind of have to make a guess, like, okay, I'm gonna say a kraken is a giant ass squid, and there is reason for that to be backed up. Like people do refer to the Greyjoys based on their sigil,
as
like when people like squids, right? As in people wearing a squid on their shirt or a squid badge, and when krakens are mentioned at a small council meeting, somebody dismisses them as big squid.
Giant squid. Yeah, you're right.
So whether krakens actually show up and whether they actually do turn out to be just really, really massive squids, we kind of have to make a choice and go like, yeah, they're just gonna be big squids to us. And then there's a million other choices. Like,
is there any history of whaling that we're aware of?
Yes.
Okay. What sort of whales?
There's narwhals kicking around.
They do call them leviathans, but one would assume sperm whales.
Okay, because sperm whales eat giant squid.
Yeah. Now I did have a video I was gonna play for Moonman describing his process for making that sigil.
This is the stuff, Lino.
All my other ones are mean. That's like my only nice one. It's like, all right, now I want to thank him for describing this.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the best I got. It's not even close to the meanest either. I don't know why I was ready for everyone to get yelled at. Like, I got a lot of yelling at ones. I never have to yell at you guys.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Spotted whales, the like tigers of the deep or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I do got a whale sigil. You guys ready?
Hell yeah.
I did a short on this guy, too.
Oh, that's a Mako Tsunami.
Fin.
That's also kind of cute.
That's just straight up a blue whale or a humpback, right?
I don't think either of those have dorsal fins.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think they have dorsal.
That's a cryptid.
It's a baleen whale of some sort.
Westeros, indigenous species.
If you look at the description of the sigil, they do say Leviathan, so they don't like give it an actual whale.
I love this whale. This whale looks like they're doing push-ups.
So this is
like they put their feet in it.
So this is a third-party like interpretation of Leviathan. Then this isn't officially from.
No, it is officially from.
Oh, it is.
Well,
okay.
It's official as any of these sigils are.
Well, like some of them we get from the World of Ice and Fire books.
Yeah, this
like
is from
we see them.
Yeah, but
Okay.
even that, like you can, if you go through the book, you're going to see different interpretations from different artists, even in the same book, you know. But this, when you go to, I get all of my sigils from the same place, and that is, of course, a Song of Ice and Fire wiki is where I get all of them, and I'm assuming one person or one group of people made all of them there based on the descriptions. So. But I do see, just like what Moo Man's doing, I have seen people interpret the sigils. Like there are different interpretations.
Yeah, there's a lot of room. Like, yeah, that one's a perfect example. Leviathan. So
yeah,
maybe someone went through the text and looked and maybe, and has determined like, oh, okay, they're clearly talking about whales here. But but maybe not. I don't know. It's not something I'm not
going to say the name of the house because you guys still haven't guessed it, but I will look up to see what they say the description is.
What are their house words?
Oh, I'm already getting a different sigil here when I clicked on the Wiki of Ice and Fire, so that's really funny. It might have changed recently.
It's not the whale doing push-ups. It's
no, this is a sperm whale.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it says they blaze in their arms with a black Leviathan on gray sea. So I thought I got it from here. Maybe it changed, or I got it. I mean,
if it's the wiki, I'm sure they update those every once in a while. Yeah. I'm sure most of them are just, especially if it's a random house that doesn't have like an official one.
Guys, this is really important, and I can't believe you guys don't know this one.
Random House is a publishing company.
Yeah, you're right.
No one likes you.
Okay, so
no one's impressed, Tom.
Important Iron Islands house.
Hey, Chad, how we feel about that joke?
Hey, Chad, how you feeling with that joke?
Phantom.
What do I know? There's a member from this house that is now in charge.
Their
of one
sigil
of
is the rooster.
Now in charge of what?
One of the shields. So when the shield islands get attacked by Euron, he kind of divvies them up. And the 16-year-old member of this house, I talked about it earlier, and I even said the name there, got this house. And I will show you the one I just got off the wiki.
Oh, wait. Am I correct in saying
Which one do we like more? I think I like the sperm whale more. Although
I
it doesn't make
whale.
sense.
It's got like bat wings.
Yeah.
The detail of the spout is
insane.
I think I really love, and the bat wings also.
Yeah.
The spout looks like somebody just took a clip art of a palm tree and made it white.
This makes no sense because is the tail out of the water as well?
Yeah.
Because how would we be doing
the tail flappy?
It's posing.
He's
they
vaping.
slap the water with their tail.
He's exhaling a cloud of vape underwater.
He's having a busy day. Over the baleen whale?
See,
I don't like the dorsal fin at all there. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I love that this one is also at the gym, but he just collapsed doing push-ups.
Yeah, it's his first day.
He's doing those leg lifts.
Has anyone named this house yet?
Is this Stonehouse?
No.
Oh.
That is a house though. There'll be a Kraken. I don't know why Lux said that. I just wanted to repeat it. So wait, is there a Kraken? Yeah, we already talked about the Kraken was the Iron Island one.
Irish potato thief guesses Volmark.
Irish potato thief, yeah, is right. As usual, Irish potato thief kills these games.
Volmarks.
Yeah, how's Volmark?
Yeah,
and
never heard of that one.
if you guys just watched my stuff, I just did a short with them.
I come from a long line of Irish potato thieves, and they're all cheats. So I
technically,
I assume this chatter is googling it all.
Potatoes are a New World vegetable, so all of Ireland stole their potatoes. So they're all potato thieves.
There you go.
That's it. No one make a famine joke. It's not cool.
You
Someone
said it
sold
right
too
on
soon.
the table.
Yeah, no one used this. No one used this famine joke.
Yeah, no one clip
Someone
any of
stole
it.
something. Stole some food in relation to Ireland. I'm not sure it was the way you said it, but
all right. I don't know. Like I'm looking and I don't know why I put some of these clips in here. When did I ever think I was going to use this?
I'm the last record.
When did I ever think we were going to?
Talking about Ireland is
oh yeah. That's why I thought of it now.
Yeah.
Is there a house with potatoes on its blazon?
No, it's a New World vegetable.
There should be spuds.
Nope.
I don't believe potatoes are mentioned in the books.
Yeah, because it's a New World vegetable.
That he doesn't stick to that.
The only
shit.
one he doesn't is corn, and there's an explanation why cornfield exists because corn was also something else was called corn. He follows that. I know. I think it's stupid that there's no real New World vegetables at all. We never see potatoes.
There's no potato.
No. I would be very surprised if there was.
In
It's
all
always
the
right
descriptions,
Go
there's
right
no
on to a
fucking
search of
potatoes,
Ice and
no
Fire.
Stews. There's no fucking like fried potatoes. There's
It's
no
all
hash
fucking
browns
beets
and all
and
that.
turnips, dude. It's
Go
all
right on to a
beets.
search of Ice and Fire, man. That's what I did
There-
as soon as they told me last time, man. I was like, there's no way.
There is no word.
You just
potato.
convinced me.
Yeah.
Every time, because now I'm realizing every time he's thinking potato, motherfucker writes turnips instead.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
he's
why
thinking
the
about
food...
potatoes and he's going
turnips.
Damn.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
the food's so shitty because it's not real New World food. Because no offense, but North America and South America has all the best damn food. So that's why they're always eating freaking turnips and beets.
What possible reason would he have to follow that convention?
I have no clue. It's
First of all,
blows my mind.
On the one hand,
Westeros is not an isolated continent. Second of all, whatever. That's a stupid tangent.
Dude, we blew
go down.
Moon Man, you need to take a deep breath, bro, buddy.
Objection. On the one hand, I think that would make for interesting world building, but on the other hand, they feed corn to the crows.
Yep, but they're not actual corn. We don't know what it is.
It's
okay.
No,
corn.
this is but no.
Corn,
corn is a word for something else too.
It means grain. Corn is a
Grain,
word.
thank you.
Corn just means grain. It's become
In what
the
language?
English. But
Yeah.
if you go back far enough, it's more recently that maize has gotten called corn, and we stopped using corn for other grains. But it just means grain. Same way, like a.
So when I talked about House Cornfield for my Harry Swift video, I said it's weird that they are mentioning corn because it's a New World vegetable, and somebody goes, "Corn is just another word for grain." Like that's what they call.
And certainly
it
in a
exactly what
faux
you just
medieval
said.
context, that would play. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sit down, Tom.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
There's no fucking turkeys.
There's no fucking turkeys. I love how mad Moon Man is. This is bullshit.
I'm thinking
No, I
about
don't think so.
I'm always thinking damn, all this food sounds like it would be so good to eat, and now I'm wondering
No, they suck. No,
It's
the
just
food
exotic.
sucks.
It's just exotic because it's like, oh, that sounds different than what I would normally eat.
No,
that must be interesting.
No
And then-
garlic. It's not a world I want to live in.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Isn't it crazy the two ingredients that we associate with Italian cooking?
Yeah,
is our New World vegetables, and Italy didn't have them for thousands of years. Garlic and tomatoes are not from Italy.
Oh,
isn't that nuts?
Of note, I'm sorry, I'm on this tangent now. Of note, there are turkeys mentioned.
Are there?
Okay.
Yeah, Theon spies a turkey in the first book. Well,
oh my god, you had to have looked that up.
Oh yeah, I didn't have that ready to go.
They could have migrated. Monty Python style.
He was referring to the country.
I spied turkey.
Left spider and Duncan.
Are you suggesting that a turkey
migrated?
Are you suggesting that a turkey could carry a potato?
And at any rate, turkey is just a general.
April May is just freaking out, saying that there are potatoes. She is losing.
You'd have to search all the synonyms. Spuds, taters, fucking
taters.
All right, there, Sam Gamgee.
Like, oh wait, no,
that's a compliment, right?
Another word for turnips.
Of course, it's a compliment. Is that a compliment?
Well, yeah. I mean,
who wouldn't want to be compared favorably to Sam Gamgee?
I think it's sad because he didn't get Frodo in the end. Didn't Frodo marry? He didn't marry him.
I think look.
They had an understanding, and so did their wives.
It's part of a long tradition of literature in which they're gay, but there's some surface level
it's
it's
not just literature.
Cover over that, you know.
Song of Ice and Fire podcasting too. What's up, Michael?
Like Frog and Toad.
No,
like Frog and Toad. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna play a non sequitur, and then let's do the next house. Now that we're not freaking out about potatoes anymore.
I'm still freaking out about potatoes.
No, I'm just gonna stay here and lick the cat's butt.
What did that have to do with potatoes?
Nothing. It's a non sequitur. Sorry, I cut Michael off.
I was just gonna say, as Tom is looking for all the different types of potatoes, it'd be funny if we can't find spuds or taters anywhere, but then there's just like a random French fries reference in oh yeah, once in Dance with Dragons in SO, Stanny has French fries.
French fries, yeah.
Hi, Chables. It's so cool. It's cool if you're not sticking around, but thanks for jumping up and saying hi. Oh, and Bryce loves us. I don't know you enough. Bryce. I don't like using the L word right away in a relationship, but you are pretty cool. All right. 10-headed snakes.
Also badass.
Dude, no, this house that's fucking
okay.
Awesome.
Is this house? Did this house have a rivalry with the 10 Nooses?
Oh, sorry, 9-headed snake.
Oh yeah, I guess that would
three threes.
Yeah.
House Hydra. Pale Hydra.
Oh my god.
I guess that is probably
keep that far wind stuff out of here. It there's no clue here. It has.
Is that just the description? A 9-headed snake?
We can find out. I'll look up what the description is. You guys can't because you don't know what house it is yet. Bitches. All right. The description is... Oh, I went to the island, not the house. There you go. There's a hint. It has a...
Right.
The whole island is named... Yeah. All right. According to semi-canon, it is a 9-headed serpent, black on silver. Their words are not mentioned in the books.
A 9-headed... serpent, so it might not even be a snake. Could be it's a sea monster of some sort.
It's a sea.
I
mean, to be fair, Rust, this isn't a snake. Snakes don't have 9 heads.
You don't know that.
I sure hope
you haven't seen every single snake that was ever
I've
hatched.
seen most snakes. I've seen.
There was one with 2 heads. There's been some.
Exactly, there've been with 2 heads.
They breed together.
It is safe to say that I have seen at least 95% of all living snakes individually.
It is safe to say
you don't know
that.
what I do for a job.
No one's going to come after you. It is safe to say that.
Dude, you don't know what I do. Maybe I'm a snake inspector.
Okay, all living snakes, even if we accept that you've seen 95% of all living snakes.
Individually,
there's several million years of history prior to this, during which there could have been 9-headed snakes.
And anyway, even if you've seen 95%, that's only going to get you 8 out of those 9 heads.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but that outdumbed me. I was going to say all these snakes have all their lineages written down, and none of them in their histories mention the 9-headed ancestor. But they all do talk about the Earth being flat, which is really messed up.
So every time you met a snake, you asked it for its patents of nobility.
It's which family member had the most heads? Turns out there was a 7-headed ball python, but not enough.
Yeah,
this is the weirdest.
I've been studying my Anne history.
Did nobody get my Knight's Tale reference?
Oh no, I guess I didn't. I'm gonna play this. This is not pointed at you guys. It's also pointed at me.
What the fuck are you bitches babbling about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you babbling about? Snake heads. Do you guys want to know?
Yeah, I don't have a guess.
House Saltcliffe.
Oh.
It's half of that word, not salt, but the other half was my grandpa's name.
So how did the island get that name?
I'm assuming the cliffs had salt on them. Next question.
Yeah. Oh man, that's deep.
Oh, we get deeper.
How deep?
Howdy.
Howdy.
Look, man, I got 200 dextromethorphan tablets, an entire bottle of Benadryl. We can go wherever you want.
Have a take of gas. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses.
It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses.
Hit it. Moonman, are you enjoying yourself?
I'm loving this.
Good, I'm glad. Like, I get nervous when there's new folk because, like, you know, I'm really fucking weird. Like, Michael just sits down there and plots some type of terrorist act. I don't know, man, whatever he does. and Rust
in Minecraft, YouTube, in Minecraft.
It's
Taco's channel.
You're
He
right.
can get himself demonetized.
I can't say. Yeah. I shouldn't say those words. We haven't done a Harlaw in a while. It's a joke. YouTube God, it's gonna be demonetized. And then somebody's like, just go edit that. And I'm going to go and pass editing.
It's literally not worth it.
It's not worth the time
pass. We'll just do another one. And then we'll just not say that word.
We do pretty good. I'm plotting anything?
I don't know, man. You don't really come up that... I don't know. You look like the dude who was trying to date my mom when I was in like junior high.
Wow.
You have that look that like he's a good looking older man and he wasn't he's never been married. Something's weird.
I got this. That's a compliment. I know for a fact how hot his mom is.
All right.
Moonman is pretty attractive for a man in his early 60s. Oh!
Jesus, I'm going gray, but give me a fucking break.
I'm going a little bit. You can't see it yet, but if you're up close and if I had better camera. See, that's it. You went and got all this good equipment and now we can see all your gray. If you just got a crappy camera like the rest of us. You guys want to do a Harlaw? I'm being really mean. Let's do a Harlaw. I really like you. That's what I'm getting at, Moonman. Thanks for showing up. All right. Which one is this? Thank you.
That rocks. This is from Diablo 3. You cannot tell me otherwise.
It is. This is not a Harlaw. This is from Diablo 3. I'm kidding. It is like a yin-yang thing. It's really freaking cool with it.
Yeah, this is some Harlaw bastard, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
No,
I like that. It
None of
does
these
have
are Harlaw
bastards.
bastards. That we know of. They're all just since Harlaw is such a big. There's just Harlaw's got a bunch of different Harlaws.
Yeah, so that is not Harlaw. Like,
No, this isn't the main. We did say the main Harlaw. This is a Harlaw of blank. Also on the island of Harlaw. It says here. Nothing. There's a dude named Siegfried Harlaw who's from here, and his nickname is Siegfried Silverhair. That's what I just learned. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else about this branch, except that they supported Asha when she called her banners.
Harlaw,
but all the Harlaws do.
Harlaw of Rainy Cliff.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I knew it.
Harlaw of 11 Towers.
If I say what it is, you guys are gonna get mad. Of 11
Probably.
Harlaw of Harlaw Hall.
Well,
yeah,
that's one we could have guessed by being stupid. Yeah,
we would have gotten there if you left us in that purgatory for like half an hour. We would have gotten there
if we had just been stupid in a different direction.
They can't all be zingers, hey George.
Dude, he's with typewriters getting it before us.
Yeah. The naming things is like by far one of the worst parts of world building.
They're my favorite. It's my favorite part. Like, I love naming things. Oh yeah, I love map drawing and coming up with names of mountains and in history of why they're called that and so on. Oh my god, that's my crack. That's why I never just write the damn book.
Yeah, that's
just got books of fucking maps, which I do.
I mean, I don't. I mean, Martin's a genius, but. So like it would be hard to say this is the best part of what he does, but like I respect and admire his naming strategies.
It's so good.
Yeah, like he's got a couple real good zingers.
Yeah. He's also
just that everything's just straightforward. There's there's nothing to it.
That's what I was gonna say. He's also taken away
King's Landing. Like there's nothing. Everything's just named what it is. That's it.
So
there's no fucking other language. You know,
much
except when you get to the other continent. But
so derivative in Essos, but we're all okay with it. Like the Rhine is the Rhoyne. Like they just slightly, and not only is it like, oh, what do you mean? That name just sounds the same. How do you think it's the Rhine? Because that's what splits medieval Eastern Europe with Western Europe, and that's literally what splits Eastern Essos and Western Essos. Like once you get to the Rhine, things are different over there. Like the free cities are on this side of the Rhine, and then the other cities aren't. Like it's like his derivativeness is so just enough that I love it. Like it's like, oh, it's gonna make me think about history, but you're not ripping it off by any means. You know.
And the other thing that he's done that I've noticed too, because like George takes in a bunch of like little things from tons of different properties, and like we'll use the names. Like he has like Muppet names and just all this little random stuff he draws on. He's left like a wake where place names are all just going to be referring like, oh, are you referring to Game of Thrones now? Because like the Westerlands, the Riverlands, like every basic place name is very close to something in A Song of Ice and Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything, like you try to like come up with a new place. It's like, oh, well, you can't name the West place because that sounds like the Westerlands or Westeros.
Yep.
If it's got a lot of rivers, it's like the Riverlands. People are gonna think you're copying George.
The hardest mountains I had to I worked on a novel for a while. I haven't worked on it for a long time, but when I was designing the world, I had a mountain range in a deserty Badlands type area, and I was like, okay, Red Mountains. I'm like, can't call them the Red Mountains. Like straight up from A Song of Ice and Fire, and also it's like how many different places have red mountains? Like no, So it took me like hours, and I was just like, I was looking at different pictures of like of those kind of mountains that I was describing. So not the Rocky Mountains, but like Utah, right? Like I was looking at, and then because of the different layers of basalt you can find and how they different look like different designs, I came up with painted mountains. And that seems so simple, but it took me like 2 hours to get there. And I was so freaking proud of myself. I'm like, that's a good name. Like writing that down, going to bed.
I save names for the end typically. I'll use a placeholder because a lot of times also I'm using voice to text. And like I was writing this one about like some cavemen, and so their names were like, you know, ugh and oof, you know, not those, not nice. Really that, but so for my voice to text, I just named them like Adam and Steven. So then I can just use multiple replace and go back, and I don't have to fight with my voice to text the entire time.
I just jumped back
caveman
to the
story.
Chat. And
what was that?
Y'all are still talking about potatoes over there. All right. Do you have a caveman story? Is that what we said, Moon Man?
No, I said I love a good caveman story.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be interspecies breeding, man.
Oh, I'm into that.
Hell yeah. Ooh,
interspecies erotica. Fucko.
Yeah.
We got Denisovans and Neanderthals.
Ooh.
That
Sapiens, all kind of shit.
That's my shit. So please send that to me when you have it.
The sexy Neanderthal theory. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite theories in the world. Actually,
I might incorporate the stoned ape theory.
I was gonna say I definitely introduced Taco to the sexy Neanderthal theory.
Yeah,
at
you
one
did.
Point on this stream. Yeah.
Yep. And then I watched it, and then I think I subscribed to that channel.
Oh yeah, Salmonella is amazing.
Yeah. No, the sexy Neanderthal theory is fantastic because it's just like,
I
what happened to him?
About this, you got to send me this shit.
Well, the theory is we probably banged him, and they
right.
probably just came into. But it's a really good, If you type in "sexy Neanderthal theory" into the right search engine, YouTube, be careful where you type that in. We want to do
someone has to have put Salmonella on Pornhub by now. Like someone's just re-uploaded Salmonella videos there.
Well, time to do a little research.
All right, well, everyone go to your site of choice and try to find.
We don't really have any easy ones left because there really wasn't a lot of easy ones to begin with. We still have more hard.
Yeah, those were all so easy.
Yeah,
dude, this is a tough one.
We got so many of them, man.
Okay, so I have a joke once we get this one.
Is that the Kenning?
No, we already did Kenning. It's the pew pew pew.
House Boreman. Joraman. House Joraman.
No, that's beyond the wall.
Is it like
Seven Kingdom?
is it like Dunnan or something like that?
No, but these guys will take your order.
House Hornblower. That's nautical.
House Burger King.
Close.
McDonald's.
Wendy's.
House McDonald's.
You're going too literal, and you're not
House
changing one of the
Steak
words.
and Shake.
House Drive-Through.
It was House Drive-Through. Moving on. Yeah. If you guys don't know it, I'm sure the comments know it already.
This is House Ampersand.
Oh my god. You know, my
Do you guys know how the ampersand got its name?
My mom's sister is named Persan, so it threw me off for a long time. Ampersand.
So it used to be that the ampersand was part of the alphabet, and you would get to the letter Z, and then you would say, and per se, and people started smushing all of that together, and that's how the and symbol became called an ampersand.
Still talking about freaking potatoes, guys. Irish potatoes.
Well, I asked April to find the potatoes because she insists that they're in there.
All hell broke loose.
Yeah, she was saying that there's reference to potato in Dunkin' Egg too. And
right, I think she might have been referring to. There's a part where they say mashed napes.
I was looking at neeps, and neeps, I believe are just a nickname for turnips. But,
I believe so.
But it's also been a while since I've reread it, and I'm always looking for an excuse to reread Dunk and Egg. So I might like go do that tomorrow.
I did my my What If Kingsguard for Damon II, so I re-listened to Mystery Night. It is my least favorite What If Kingsguard I worked on.
I do not know that horny ampersand, by the way.
All right. Welcome to Goodbrother, home of the Goodbrother. Can I take your order?
Oh, it is Goodbrother.
That makes sense.
Good burger? All right,
yeah,
come on.
that tracks now. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a joke that my crazy brain would make.
That's a good hint. That's
that was
hint.
good.
That's a good hint.
Yeah. Also, just randomly based off of what Russ said about the ampersand, apparently they're like singing the alphabet differently these days. I learned this recently.
Yeah.
Like little kids are taught to sing the alphabet differently these days.
Oh, they must not, them.
No, that didn't get to North Dakota.
No, I was just gonna say that didn't make it to North Dakota yet. We just heard about like divorce like last month.
They're thinking about legalizing it now, and I don't know what I feel.
I don't know.
Changing the alphabet song makes sense because there were way too many children who thought LMNOP was like one letter.
Daughter. So it hasn't gotten here yet because my daughter still sings the same one I did, and she is just awful.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
She is so bad. She just jumps like A B C D E F G Q R F, and I'm like,
no, the LMNOP issue though is like once you learn what the letters are, it's a cheat for starting in the middle of the song when you know you want a letter on the back half. You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
I never had a cheat.
don't know.
I just learned my letters.
Well, that's the thing too. I was like, I get why they're changing this, but also this feels like the type of thing that like we're changing the way that we sing the song to avoid like one conversation between a teacher and a kid where they're like, "Hey, LMNO is different,
not one letter,
letters," and they're like, then you're like, "Oh, okay," and then you learn something.
I've never, So I'm gonna apologize to Moon Man. I had to make a joke saying, "Oh, I just learned my letters," because I was never smart enough to think if I just jumped right to LMNOP, I would cut the letters in half. And I projected by insulting him. But really, I just still start with A. And now I know I should just start with LMNOP. But the problem is I got to know what's before LMNOP. And how am I going to know that without starting with A? So I'm stuck.
That's true. If you don't know where your letter is, how can you know?
You know, I'm glad that we're talking about this. This is something that's always got me. One of the things that they do, right, like in media, when you get pulled over and you get a field sobriety test.
Oh, alphabet backwards.
They make you do your alphabet backwards. I have tried to do that sober so many times.
Yeah, I can't.
That is impossible.
Yeah. It's a fall asleep technique that I used to try. Also, counting backwards from a high number. I sleep really poorly, so I've like looked up a lot of falling asleep techniques. So just pick I just pick one from random, like 573, and then 576, 575, and I try to make it high enough that I'm not gonna make it, and then it gets me from mind wandering and then creating scenarios and all this crap in my head, and then I get stuck on a loop. And I rotating 12-hour shifts. I sleep like crap. I'm literally forcing myself to stay up tonight because I work a graveyard shift tomorrow, and that's why we do these live streams. And thank you guys for being dancing monkeys for my entertainment.
You can get stimulants from your doctor for that. It's called sleep work shift disorder.
Oh shit, I got that disorder. It gets worse later on in the year. Yeah, it does. It gets really bad later on in the year where I like even day shifts, I can't sleep for shit anymore. I get really bad sleep paralysis too. Yay.
Yikes.
That's fun. Yeah. Anyways, let's just click a random one so we can move on. There you go.
I love these clips. They always end sooner than I think they're going to.
So they fade out early, and I don't know how to shut it off. can't play the one without playing the other. All right, so I'm not gonna keep playing them. All right, let's do. Here we go.
House Hoare, Hoare, whatever.
Har.
At the time of their furthest extent of conquest, I think if you go back far enough, their sigil is probably just the gold longship.
Yeah, one would assume, but it's because they took over everything at one point.
The most accomplished of the Iron Islanders.
The most accomplished Har.
I know that one because I was researching it for it's the only other Iron Island sigil I was researching.
I want my children name to be LMNOP.
For the banners, and to do a graphic of the conquest, like changing from Westeros, changing from the pre-conquest kingdoms to like a Targaryen sigil on the map, and we got to that one and we're like, that's too fucking complicated for a little tiny thing in a map, so I just left it black paper.
Yeah,
maybe in the future. Maybe in the future sometime we'll do that.
Oh, so it's 30-30.
I was going to say
Falcons. I just saw this and I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't direct us off on a tangent, but as soon as I saw that in the chat, I had to pull my phone up because
that's literally what I was doing. I was listening to Moonman. Sorry,
I did the same thing.
I stopped paying attention when Kirk threw an interception. I almost derailed us by being like, "Oh, you said Kirk was a bad quarterback. He just got picked to lose the game," and then they somehow got the ball back, drove down to score a field goal.
Dude, Moonman, I'm so sorry. There's a number of football bros in this call right now, and that was a very notable message we all got.
Okay, all right. We didn't all discuss this time, so I was trying to not pay attention. Like, I don't have the game on, but Moonman,
I do not give a shit about either of these teams. So,
our last live stream we did was season opener. All of us had it on. So just like literally we were talking and then just like we all were watching season opener because I do these on Thursday nights, and it's like, but there are certain games, even if they are a primetime game, that I'll check the score and watch the highlights. I don't care. And this is definitely one of them. Because I don't care about Buccaneers. I mean, Baker's going to bake, and that's a really cool story. But also, it's like, I'm so happy Kirk Cousins is somebody else's fucking problem. So, it sucks. No, it doesn't suck. Here, no, not at all. It's relieving that I don't have to defend him anymore. Like, I don't have to say, yeah, but he's, stats-wise, a really good quarterback, and he can really come in clutch sometimes. But other times, he just completely doesn't show up, and it sucks.
All right, just so y'all know, I am out in not too long. So if we want to power through a couple before I gotta go.
Yeah. Let's count how many we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I don't need to do it out loud.
No, do it out loud because I don't want to fill this dead
10,
air.
11.
Thank you.
The chat has found
12,
us a couple members for our
13?
fantasy football league next year.
Oh, perfect. 13. And I have how many that we're doing?
There was talk of an interesting fantasy league this year, but I got distracted.
I got distracted.
We weren't able to do it. Yeah, we weren't able. We tried. But
next year, we will actually do one.
Yeah,
I'll pitch the idea to the group before, it's a week before the season. We were all very busy. This
so I want to do a 3-hour stream, which I don't know if Moonman knows that, but we usually go about 3 hours. And we are exactly halfway at 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, this is the right amount of tangents. So if Tom wants us to kill a couple, then we can do extra tangents later. What's this house? Go.
Oh, shoot.
I have clues ready.
Green forest.
Can you tell us what we're looking at?
It's bear.
Green and black.
There. The pattern is there. It's like comes from squirrel skin.
It's over there.
It's squirrel pelts being sewn together. That's that shape.
Okay.
Oh my god, nerd.
Hang on. I'm not cheating.
I've been researching fucking heraldry.
I just literally
like a nerd.
Fuck yes. Okay.
It's like that guy that had a cloak made out of mouse skins.
Dude, I had a conversation about this 3 days ago when I was looking at the sigils, and I said, and I quote, "I fucking hate the sigil for House Blacktyde."
Yeah, that's Blacktyde. Wait,
we got one.
I got.
What do you think we are, nerds?
Got him.
I feel like the talk I normally have with people the first day after the first stream, I need to start doing it before the first stream. Moodman, if I make fun of you, it means I'm liking you. It's just how I get to know people. Nerd. Okay. Ready? Everyone?
I'm not giving you anything. You don't know how I'm taking it.
I know, it sucked. I really hated that you did that just now. That really fucking hurt. I'm like, well, shit, okay. Yeah, no, that sucked.
That's okay. Like that's it. That banner though does suck. And for what's it called? Blacktyde?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blacktyde.
Just a
That's a
baller
fucking
name.
badass name.
Yeah.
Like, how is their sigil so balls?
It does sound like a band that opens up for Death Clock. Yeah, Blacktyde. And also
Blacktyde.
Baylor Blacktyde is a he like, hey guys, I know we're at the Kingsmoot and I know we just hired Euron Greyjoy, but isn't the Faith of the Seven cool? They cut him into 7 pieces for it. They fucking murdered him.
See, I was thinking Blacktyde was going to be like Tide laundry detergent's spooky October thing.
Yeah. Like the spooky cheeseburgers at Burger King. Yeah.
And they would also dye their detergent with squid ink.
Yeah, and it would also turn all your clothes like green.
Okay, let's do one that
like a really bad green, like a green that nobody wants their clothes to be.
Let's do one that should be in the Riverlands and or the Reach or the North, and it looks really out of place for the Iron Islands.
Oh, I don't know you.
Yeah, I don't know you either, Tom.
Are those pine trees?
Can we get a ruling? Do we think these are soldier pines or sentinels?
They're sentinels, right? Because I think the reason I know this is because when I was looking up sentinel trees, this was the sigil that said, hey, there are sentinel trees on this house's sigil. And now I can't remember what the house was. But
It's like a name of a different tree, but spelled wrong.
What's that?
The name of this house is the name of a completely different tree. That's not this, but spelt wrong.
Okay.
This is a weird offshoot of House Ironwood, is what you're saying.
So it's like spruce with 2 O's.
No, like it's spruce, but without an S.
It's
like spelled like it's a completely different word, but with only 1 letter off.
It's fur with a Y.
I'll just tell you guys, I've made it so fucking convoluted. It's not oakwood, it's orkwood. O-R-K wood. Orkwood.
That's what Frodo and them go through, right?
Yeah. The orkwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's back on the menu too.
I just had the image of that meme of the guy like grabbing the microphone as they're all yanking him back, but it's all orcs and he's just saying wood.
There's this like random, it's just a picture on Reddit, but somebody shared it to me and it like, it's one of those jokes that's not very good, but it just hit you in the right spot and you thought about it all day. And it was this, it's a picture of the Doom CD, like video game, and it's a Doom on it.
Sure.
But it's upside down and he's like, my wife just brought me this asking me where the case for wood is. She was just holding it and it said wood. And it's not that funny, but like it for like a whole vacation, me and my friend would just go wood, and it would would kill us.
And you've recreated that experience exactly for all of us. Just now.
Yeah, I can tell by how much you're laughing. Look at that face.
I like that bit, Taco.
That was such like a Stan Smith thing.
Stupid, but
From American Dad.
Dude, the shit that I find funny, like it's like I don't know, man. I thought it was good. Or just a picture of somebody having like the Blade, like the movie Blade, like DVD, and they're like trying to cut a box open with it, like that kind of shit. CD humor, DVD humor. It's a lost art.
The kids these days don't understand.
DVD humor.
Physical media led to so many hijinks and jokes.
I have
there was a time when I could make an entire room full of third graders wet themselves with nothing but a pencil and a chewed up piece of paper.
All right, I have a video clip of how well my jokes are going. There. Oh my god.
Taco, you don't have to try so hard. You've got me. I will be your stepdad.
All right, yeah. Get checked. She ain't clean. All right. Got him now. Okay. You're not even. You're probably not that much older than me. You just wear it way better. I'm just jealous because I know, like when I'm 5 years older, you still are a better looking man. Like you're just a fucking handsome dude, and I just had to make fun of you instead of lose weight. I make fun of you. That's how it works. Instead of me taking care of my body, it's just easier to be like, whatever, Moon Man, you suck, because I'm out of shape. So
I respect
it's like
that. You know
on the Always Sunny podcast.
Yeah.
Showmanship.
Yeah, thank you.
On the Always Sunny podcast, they're looking at Mac when he gets all ripped, and Charlie Day goes, "I would kill for a body like that," and then he's like, "Well, no, actually, I wouldn't even go to the gym an hour a day for a body like that." Apparently,
no, I wouldn't. Dude, I got so excited that I got 5 pounds under my fluctuation, and I said that to like a dietitian. It's like, yeah, but you're still like 50 pounds overweight. I'm like, shut up! I'm 5 pounds under my normal fluctuation. It's a fucking accomplishment.
You're not 50 pounds overweight.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm right now. I'm 220, and I'm 5.
How tall are you?
5'8". I'm 5'8".
Okay.
I'm pretty. 170 would be a great weight for me, and I used to be 150 for like years.
If you were like 19 years old, yeah, but
when I started at the factory, I was I think 165, and I'm now I fluctuate between 220
I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10", and I'm never getting back down to 160. It never happened.
Yeah, but I'm never getting back down to 2. So, there's this guy who's like working out at my factory. And
well, that's what I mean. I'm like, I don't even know what I am right now. I'm 2 something.
Dude was like super proud of it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm never gonna see 200 again." And I was like, "Me neither." But different directions. But yeah, I'm a tubby. But I like it. I own it.
This does not seem like the appropriate time to say that my New Year's resolutions have been going really well, and I'm on track to win given my weight loss this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut in this comment.
Yeah, no, it's all good. You guys are really good looking guys. All of you. There's also I love that the camera is just right above my giant fucking belly. Because I'll make jokes whenever I cover a chubby character. I bring up my chubbiness, and then people say like, "You're not that chubby." I'm like, "I don't stand up, dude." Like you don't see it.
Taco's like, I'm healthy weight from here up, and I'm a YouTuber, so that's all I care about.
Yes.
All right,
the moneymaker.
Listen, I worship a pear-shaped god. Okay, so
what's the Rigo Draz's god? It's like the chubby god with like 3 boobs and a bat face, and he's like, "This is my god. That's it." I'll have to look it up. Here, guys, talk about this sigil.
Hey, I know this one.
Those proportions are way off.
This is hang on, I can do it. This is the drums.
Yes. House.
I think I got it.
That's cool.
Yeah, you killed it, dude.
I think I got it. Make it go away real fast. Yeah.
Drumm is
I had to type done first.
Drumm is one of the offshoots of my Irish clan. Scottish clan.
Oh, that's very interesting.
The Irwins.
Oh, here, I got it. Rigo Draz worshipped a small household idol which looked like a pregnant woman with swollen breasts and a bat's head. So, if that's something you're into.
That sounds like the kind of thing that'd be very popular on Tumblr.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Mine has
I don't want
two
rabies,
big
man.
tits and a swinging dick and a Greek fisherman cap.
It's the cap. It's the cap that does it. It's the cap that brings it together.
Did you say what your god is? What are you talking about?
You'll just have to rewatch the stream.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I was
This
thinking
is
about
live, Taco. You gotta catch him.
Keep up, man.
No, man. I was thinking about bat faces on a beautiful chubby lady. I wasn't.
Don't
listening.
lie. You were typing done again.
Taco wasn't.
No, I wasn't. No, we were already done. We were done that time. I wasn't.
You were
was
keeping track of what we're doing.
You're running the stream. What a doofus.
Taco was remembering a video he'd seen recently about a woman with a bat face.
Hello, is your stream running?
Taco was worried what he would forget what would happen 5 minutes earlier, and he had to write it down. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm getting fucking torn apart.
You should call your stream the Checky Water.
Is there a joke?
I like that one a lot.
Because you're reverting it and stealing it?
Yeah. Okay.
I got a video for you guys because you're turning against me.
It's treason, then.
You're all sentenced to death. All right, that was a good stream. I just ended it. If you guys all blinked and like all left, that would be
we accept it.
If everyone just left, oh my god. Oh, the end.
All right.
Oh, that's
All
fucking
right. Give me one more.
One
and then
more?
Then I gotta get out of here.
This is an easy one.
Let's see if it's another one of somebody at the gym.
No one's gonna get this.
I know this one.
No.
I do. Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. This is House Spar.
How?
Because I was making fun of it.
How
I was making fun of it.
But also that is a spar. That's a couple spars. So
my smallest sibling and I were making fun of this. Bring it back up real quick. It looks like
that's awkward again.
It looks like you are out sparring and you're using wooden swords, and you and 3 of your friends took the tips of the swords and went.
Yeah. It does look like that.
Just like poked them together.
What is? I would want to know what the description for this is because
most of them are not like.
It's actually I just did a video on this. So the description.
Because Russ is right. There's a connection there. The wood and the spar.
So
a spar being made of wood, but like.
So it says like. The arms are a oak satire on blue.
How is satire spelled?
Saltire? SALTIRE? Yeah, sorry, I can't read.
It's the crossing so but if you were House Spar, wouldn't you like put a mast on your fucking
Well, the spar is the cross piece. But
is that what a spar is?
I think. Spar is any stick on a boat.
Oh,
is
really?
It?
Yeah.
House
the mast.
I thought it was the horizontal ones.
House boat.
A boom is also a spar, but any pole is a spar.
Do you want to leave now?
I'm on a sailboat right now.
I was gonna ask if you were in a motorhome or a boat. Are you in a motorhome or a boat? I was trying not to ask.
I didn't want to sound stupid and be like, "Are you on a boat?" And
I've read so much Horatio Hornblower. I should have known the distinction. So,
all right. If Tom's gonna leave, I got a boat story for Moon Man. I got a few, but
hang on.
I got.
You
one
can't
good
tell
one.
it though if Tom's not going to leave.
Well, Tom doesn't want to sit here for a story. What's that say?
This is what's propping up my laptop right now.
Oh, really?
Horatio Hornblower.
Mine's an Aladdin book. Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Mine's a Nintendo Switch.
So I worked when I lived in Washington.
Wait, are you
State.
streaming from the Switch?
Yes.
That's cool.
No, you're not. He just held it up. You're not streaming from it.
Oh, I was looking at the book that Moon.
Do you guys
Man
want to
was
see
holding
my
up.
laptop?
I was just trying to yes and you. I don't know where I was going.
So I lived in Poulsbo, Washington, which is on the Puget Sound, and
I've sailed this boat there.
No freaking way! That's awesome. So I had
I'm in Seattle.
Oh, I didn't know. I lived outside of Seattle. I lived in Poulsbo for 3 years. That's where I went to art school. That explains the flannel. Tom, you leaving? Bye, Tom. So,
Tom,
I feel like we never knew you.
we lost Tom.
Who?
Wait, I got something for this.
Poochie's dead!
Must have crawled under there for warmth.
All right. No, so I don't know it. I didn't know anything about cars. I still barely do, but I didn't even have a license at that time. And of course, I've never changed oil on anything. And I was working for a guy for cash at the end of the day. He was a rich dude, and I just mowed his lawn or cleaned his gutters or whatever, right? And his neighbor, who he had a boat, but his neighbor had a really nice one. And he goes, "Hey, you want to change my like, I'm paying you today, you should change his oil in his boat." And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So he gives me like a do this. So inside, gorgeous, beautiful, looks actually a lot like what you're sitting in. Everything's white. So it's carpet all the way up the walls and on top. And it's just this pure, beautiful. So I'm all nervous. So I put a bunch of like towels down around where I was. And right in the middle of the floor opened up, and I crawled into it. So I'm in the middle of this immaculate room, and I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, open this, you're going to drain the oil. So I'm grabbing the wrong thing, and it must have been full of oil, right? Undo it, and this hose goes across my face like this, and just gets oil in my face. And I was like, oh no. And I like closed the valve, which I should have closed before I undid it. I'm like, oh, and I looked up, and there's this perfect line all the way down with a little break where my head was all the way across the room. And I was like, no. I was like 19. So I'm like, hey, Mike, you want to come down here? And he's like, you fucking idiot. And it took me 3 days to clean that room. 3 days. So I wasn't paid for those 3 days.
Even before you got the oil everywhere, I was like remarking at how similar this is to when SpongeBob and Patrick had to go and paint Mr. Krabs' like immaculate room with all his boat shenanigans, and they blow the giant paint bubble.
I didn't know that my life could be broken down into SpongeBob.
I mean, then the scene went basically in that exact same direction. There's a giant paint bubble, but it was oil.
So funny. I didn't know that.
I was thinking I would not let someone who doesn't know how to change oil change the oil in my fucking boat engine. You know what a boat engine costs? You know how important the oil is? Right. What are you going to do? How do you even know? Like, did this guy fuck it up? Like,
I don't know. That was kind of like a thing. I did a lot of stuff I didn't know. I mean, I was a kid. I didn't know how to do any of that crap. And there was a lot of like, hey, man, know the setup plumbing? No, you'll figure it out. All right. Thanks for the $10 cash at the end of the day. We also, me and my roommate stole my boss's boat because he told me how to drive it, but we totally got lost in the middle of the night and found a marina. And we were, God, I'm going to get it wrong. So we left Poulsbo, so Liberty Bay, and we were in like, I want to say it was Port Gamble. It was Port something. And yeah, we didn't even know where the hell that was. So we got up to a marina, walked up, like, hey, where are we? We ended up calling him like, so we stole your boat and we're fucking lost. So, yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Not a, I wasn't a great 19-year-old.
That's how the Matthew McConaughey movie Sahara went.
Oh, really? No one saw that.
I really liked that movie because it was the first Matthew McConaughey movie I had ever seen.
Oh, wow. Mine was Dazed and Confused.
You're like, this guy is hot. I gotta follow this man's career.
No, dude, seriously, like I got tricked into watching one of his rom-coms because I thought that was the type of movie that he made, Sahara.
Yeah.
So there was he did a movie called Fool's Gold. And so I was like, oh, great, it's going to be about like finding treasure. And it was just the most rom-com that there's ever been. It was bad.
Who's his love interest? Who's the leading lady?
In Sahara?
I don't freaking remember.
In
Sahara? That was Penelope Cruz.
In Fool's Gold.
Oh, in Fool's Gold?
Yeah, I don't remember Fool's Gold.
No, Fool's
Hold
Gold.
on.
No, I'm thinking of Failure to Launch. It was the Sex and the City chick, but that's Failure to Launch, right?
Yeah, they're almost indistinguishable. Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
It's either Kate Hudson or Alexis. It's spelled Dziena.
Sounds great. Never heard of her.
I've seen it.
Well, the thing is, Kate Hudson's character doesn't have a last name, but hers does. So I don't know. I got to read the synopsis now. God damn it!
I'm gonna do a house. I'm gonna get us back on track.
2008,
no more
my
long
God.
stories about boats. Mark. All right. Sorry. All right. This guy.
Fool's Gold. Matthew McConaughey synopsis.
Oh,
Guess the house.
I remember us talking about this one.
Yeah, it's a freaking dead body is the sigil. It's so dark.
Is the description like a drowned man or something?
A drowned man being eaten by fish. Yeah. It's not the funnest. I'll find the description. A drowned man, pink and pale, floating upright in a blue sea. His hair, wow, there's a lot here, streaming upwards as fish nibble at his limbs. That's the longest description ever.
Honestly, it would be more badass if his hair was like longer and streaming up more, like he's like actively,
or even like
down.
out, like.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like in Night of the Hunter, like her.
Would you say that the fish are perhaps tearing him asunder?
Because it's how Sunderly. I looked it up.
There we go. I wouldn't have got there.
I learned enough working with Rust, and it's if Rust surprised you, it's because he cheated. Sorry, but like fool me once. We're actually doing really good. You guys want to do another one?
Yeah.
So that's your boat, and did you say it was a sailboat?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool, dude. Freaking jealous of your life. I miss Washington. Is it still awesome?
I mean, yeah, the summers are nice. I like the rain. I
never complained about the rain, but I grew up
live
here.
on a sailboat. What do you? I'm.
You can't complain. Yeah.
It's fine for me. The city's fucking expensive, like any place, but it's like real fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So if I want to live in this town, I gotta live on a sailboat. But I kind of like that. So.
I lived there and moved there in late 2008 and lived there for 3 years. Right after I graduated high school, went to art school there in Postbo. But yeah, there were I'm glad the art school was in Postbo because there would be no way, even back then, I would ever be able to afford a house in Seattle. Like, that was nuts. There were people who lived that far and would still take the ferry every day to go into, the commuting is real because living in the city, that's where all the jobs were, but there was no housing and the jobs didn't pay enough. It was, I got offered a job at a video game company doing testing for minimum wage. It's how... I'm going to live in Seattle on minimum wage back then. It was what are you thinking? I would have to live in a studio apartment with 4 people.
I just watched the American Dad episode where Stan tried to live on minimum wage. He went insane in 3 days.
I don't.
Seems like it'd be a great episode for that show.
I tried that. Like it's a video game company a lot of people know, but they just don't sound good in the story, so I usually don't say the name of it. But yeah,
Nintendo.
When I was doing interning, I was above I was a supervisory role as the free intern, and then the job they offer is the video game tester underneath them. So it was we'll pay the guy who deserves more money nothing, and then offer him the job that he was already over, and it was like, that's greasy, guys. Really cool offices though, like really cool offices. But yeah, skee ball break room. It was nothing but skee ball. That was cool. Anyways,
I don't think I've ever worked for Nintendo.
It wasn't Nintendo.
Well, okay, I guess there are. I know. I've known a lot of people who tested. That's not what I do, but I mean, I did assume that because I've known so many people who've tested for Nintendo America, which is out in Redmond.
I don't know if this was downtown Seattle, straight up.
Yeah, I guess there are other game companies.
Let me see if this company's still around, because I don't know. I know the thing that they do, I don't play. So, and they were really big then. I don't even know if they are still around. Nah, it looks like they are. All right. I'll just say it. It's PopCap. They made Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I haven't played Plants vs. Zombies since then, so I didn't know if they were still making stuff. Anyways, this house.
Oh, that's an interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Flail made of leaves.
Yeah, like
barbs and leaves, which is
it's a
weird. It's like
a flail of nettles is the description.
Okay,
that makes more.
It's
sense.
got some like Green Man imagery, like
and also the coloring is very weirwood, the red.
What? Oh, yeah, and you're whipping, and you're literally whipping people with it.
You're bloodletting. Yep.
So you get the blood directly into the leaves, which the weirwoods love to eat leaves. This is whatever house this is. I'm suddenly curious what sort of old godsy shenanigans they know back in the day.
A scourge of nettles, red and black on white.
Yeah, that's some definite like old gods knowledge imagery right there. I don't know what it would be though. Like I've never seen the sigil before. I don't think. Most of them, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. I don't have any clue what it is. This one, I'm like, oh wow, I don't even remember.
It was Lewis Stevens' love interest in Even Stevens.
Who was? Oh,
the name of the house.
Oh, good one.
I rewatched it recently.
It's been so long since I've seen Even Stevens that one's not gonna help.
I honestly didn't. No, I didn't think that was gonna help anybody. But
Even Stevens is one that I've got like in my brain from like when I was real little. The commercials were just blasted everywhere. Like maybe not real little, but like one of the shows I remember growing up just blasting.
It's the best thing Shia LaBeouf has ever done.
No,
by far. Yeah.
Come on.
What do you think it is?
He was good in Megalopolis.
That video where he acts out the Shia LaBeouf song.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Shia LaBeouf song where he watches it and claps at it.
Yeah,
that's so good. I didn't know that was one of the guys from Tally Hall. I didn't know that the Shia LaBeouf song was like one of the members of Tally
Wait, actual killer Shia LaBeouf is from Even Stevens?
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
That's what it is.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Oh my god. Did we guess the house? Yeah.
I don't. He told us it's the love interest's name, which I could Google that and that wouldn't technically be cheating, but you could also.
I'll just say it's House Tawney.
Tawney.
I had a crush on a girl.
How do you spell that?
In fourth grade. Tawney.
What was that we were saying about the alphabet song earlier there?
L-N-O-P, Q-R-S-T,
T-U-R-S-T-U-V.
Shut up.
It's that Canadian alphabet with a Z.
Yeah, Y and Z. As they say in Canada, peace out. So Moonman, if I wanted to say your name shorter, do you want me to call you Man or Moon?
You can call me Greg.
Or I can call you Greg. Guys, we found out his name. Greg.
There we go.
I was gonna pitch Mooney. Or Mr. Man. But I guess
Greg. Moonman. I feel like Moonman rolls off the tongue pretty well.
So is it a reference to Moon Boy?
Well, I mean, that's for look. I give you the text. You interpret the subtext.
Exactly.
Okay?
A true artist.
I'm not here to explain my work to you. Okay?
No one understands something to taco about, right? Like it's. I'm not going to explain that high art.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a pun. Or is that a word play? It's not a pun. Talk about? That's got to be a word play.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're the Moon Boy, and Cersei was banging Lancel, and you, for all I know.
All grown up now.
Yeah, all grown up. You even had a couple seasons where you're all grown up. Rugrats humor. Are we on a house? We said Tawney. We're not on one, are we? We're running out, man.
I'm just looking up things about them now.
Let's do some Harlaws because we still have two Harlaws. Here's the blue Harlaw. I'll give you a hint. It's a house Harlaw.
Harlaw.
I was just about to say that.
They're on the Isle of Harlaw, right? So it's not one of the other islands.
Please,
so.
Mr. Moon is my father's name. That's pretty good.
Harlaw of Skyview.
The Moonies are the reason that former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated.
Jeez.
The Moonies. That's going to be that's the name for my eventual army of fans.
But it worked though. The assassin brought so much attention to the crazy shit that they do that they are like losing their religious status, and politicians are having to cut ties with them.
Yeah, cool.
So basically,
that was pretty cool.
Worked. It worked.
Yeah.
What he was trying to do.
Yeah. People were treating him like a hero for like the first 3 or 4 days, and within a week, something like 90% of the country opposed the idea of him having a state funeral. Like it was that quick that the information came out, and people were just like, "No, we don't fuck with that."
Fair enough.
So the blue Harlaw, anybody?
No.
All right, no one's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Harlaw of Harridan Hill. Let's just get the other one out of the way. This is the last Harlaw.
Harlaw of Lego Castle.
Close. And this is actually a really cool name.
Harlaw of Duplo Castle. Harlaw of Mega Blocks Castle.
So it's a really
Harlaw
cool
of Tinker
name.
Toys Castle.
It's a really cool name. I'll wait until Russ punches himself out.
Lincoln Log Castle.
That's where I was gonna go. Yeah.
Harlaw of the Tower of Glimmering.
Okay.
Oh, that's so close to Lego.
It is, you know.
Yeah, you were. I wanted to read it because I didn't want you to get it because you were so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
that wasn't cool.
Also, you're ugly. You're not ugly. I need to stop using that as like a like I don't have anything.
Some people say to fill space. Taco just insults his guest.
Dude, I do. And I don't know what it is. And I also say But no, like I was at work and I didn't have a good comeback. Somebody, and it was like this girl hit me with a good zinger and was like, "Yeah, well, you're ugly." And she it completely cut her deep. She brings it up 2 weeks later, and I was like, all right, I really need to stop.
Dude, that's so much worse if you say it to an ugly person, and they're just like, oh no.
She's not ugly though. but she's like, yeah, so cry myself to sleep that night. I'm like, all right, you can hate me for a long time. I deserve all of it. I don't know. I just needed space to I just said it. So I need to just not do it. So that's where right after I called Rust ugly, I went, I'm sorry, I'm joking. It was a joke. I'm sorry. I should just double down. Well, get it less ugly. I don't know. Figure it out.
Explain to me how you're not ugly.
Explain 7 reasons that you're not ugly, and then I'll reconsider.
No one on television's ugly. What's your excuse? I think we really only have 2 left. We kind of moved recently. 3 left. 3 left? Yeah. Wow, we've been freaking flying. Anyone got a tangent? I guess I can play a clip.
Nick Grimes says Taco had a gamer moment.
Gamer? Is that somebody said something you're not thinking because you're playing and then you say something stupid?
No. Well, I think he's meaning gamers have the reputation of being the 13-year-old who insults you or your mom. Yeah. Taco had a gamer
the classic
moment.
Heated gamer moment.
Yeah.
Where you say something you really shouldn't.
Regrettable anymore. Yeah. So I play a lot of fighting games, and Mortal Kombat is unique in the way that comms are open. You have to by default, they can hear you and you can hear them, and you have to go in to shut it off. And no other fighting game Tekken doesn't do that, Street Fighter doesn't do that, King of Fighters doesn't do that. And I thought that was the norm, and I just let comms be on. I tried to talk, but so much of it is just exactly what you would think. Oh, you're dumb. Oh, you're this. Whereas we all agreed 5 years ago we weren't going to say anymore, and here we are. Even in North Dakota 5 years ago we agreed on it. And yeah, they're using all of them at once. And I got somebody to rage quit from a joke, and let me tell you what it was. But first I have to explain command grabs in fighting games and meter. So if you have somebody in the corner,
this feels like a Hulk Hogan documentary.
Wait for it. Yep. Brother. And then Bruiser Brody said this. They're in the corner, and I do a command grab on them with Kotal Khan. This is MK11, and I put them over here out of the corner and smash them on the ground. But if I have a meter to burn, I put them back where they were, so they remain in the corner. If they don't have any defensive meter to pop out, they're stuck. So if I have a full bar, which is 2, I can do it 3 times. So do it, pop my meter, put them back, do it, and then do it again. So 3 times. Kotal Khan does a lot of damage, so it's all of their life. I have to tell you that to just tell you the joke. So then in the middle of this, after I started up my second one, the guy's like, seriously, dude? Seriously? And I said, yeah, dude, you're like REM. And he went, what? And I said, that's you in the corner. And he quit. And I'm like, really? I get called the worst things in the world, and you quit on an REM joke? No, fuck this. Just quit.
He was probably streaming.
Maybe.
That'd be great.
Oh, man. If he was streaming, then he got made fun of for being REM for the rest of the stream. If you rage quit, if you rage quit on stream, you deserve all the hate you get from your own.
You're in the wrong game. If you're rage quitting on stream. You were giving him gold. You gave him gold content. He should have run with that.
REM got a couple gold records, right?
The thing is, earlier when you were setting the backstory and you said in the corner, I was going to start quoting REM at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have ruined it unknowingly.
Right.
Yeah. I hate it when people guess the punchline. Because it's like, yeah, dang it. It's funny though, right? Can you laugh at it even though you said it out of time?
Laugh at it. Laugh at that again 3 sentences from now.
Yeah, shut up. So I'm guessing the ending of the movie. All right, now that I filled up some time here. I think Michael tried to guess this a few times.
House Brazier.
Yes.
Oh.
No, it isn't.
House Hibachi.
What have I tried to guess a couple times?
I think it was you. It was you or Tom.
Kenning?
No, we did Kenning. It's the pew pew pew.
Oh yeah,
we've covered this.
I know, but that's the one I guessed a few times, and you've had to tell me that a few times.
House Fire Pit. No. Back to what Moonman said earlier of like George, like just saying things like, "I'm surprised this isn't House Fire Pit." Like that seems like a George. House Stonefire.
Yeah.
House Fire Metal. And then House Blacktyde, the lamest sigil.
I like to imagine that they're on that little fire there, that there's leeches filled with penis blood from a king's bastard.
Show only. I don't think we know how they get the blood for the leech. I don't think we learn if it's penis blood. I don't. Think
No, we don't.
And it's not even penis blood in the show.
Why?
So stop saying penis blood.
Then why did she have to get him hard first?
Because
that was just for fun.
No, that was just HBO mandate. All right.
Stay tuned for my upcoming videos.
I was positive that the implication was
penis blood?
that it was penis blood. Honestly,
would Joffrey still be alive if this blood didn't come from his penis?
So today we're going to talk about a couple questions. What's with that peach? Is there penis blood in that leech? Stay tuned for Moonman.
And what would she have done if she had a female bastard?
So did you just like one day you're just reading the books and you're like, that fucking peach, you know what? And you just started typing?
No, I had to finish them first.
All right, Warhol. That was such a Warhol answer.
I mean, I think I was for whatever reason, context outside of having read them, having waited so long to read them, like I was kind of reading them and from the very beginning kind of had a view on like what I was reading, that this was like, that the idea was that it was a formal experiment about perspective that meant that so pretty early on that was clear to me. So, and I knew people like theorize about this. I knew there's lots of weird stuff. So I was looking for like, what does this mean? It's natural for me to like pick apart the politics of something. So no, I was thinking the whole time with Stannis, like, this character doesn't really make sense to me. Like, and then I later found out researching this, that's kind of everyone else's, take, or like there's a baseline like read on what Stannis is about, but anyone who goes a little like one shade beyond the baseline reading will say like, and yet there's all this contradiction that doesn't make sense.
Make a lot of because
so I was saying that
he's stone-faced and humorless, but he's not like he does a lot of I mean, no, and I think that's like the people who've done the really good analysis up to now on Stannis. It's all about listing all these contradictions and saying like, well, actually, he's a sarcastic put upon curmudgeon, and yet somehow he's also like a stone cold fanatic. And does that make sense? Well, no. I literally did have to finish the series, because when I started putting it, I was thinking the whole time like, this among other things makes no sense to me, along with a shitload of other theories that I was assuming that about. You have a lot like that had to have not Miles. Your only thing, and that's
Years
the same way. That's the same with all, like, I don't do theory stuff, but also I don't think my brain works the way that like yours and Michael's and other people's, because I'm such an explorer of history and lore, and that's what excites me. But I'm not I'm very trusting. I'm not a skeptic, like I at all. Like it's really hard for me to like, if somebody goes, hey man, Stannis eats the peach, and he's mad about it because he's here to discuss, and Renly's just going, want a peach? Blah. And I go, okay, that makes sense. And I don't think past it. And why I like watching your stuff Michael stuff, all the other great. I mean, the million really good Song of Ice and Fire theorists is because they open my mind to think that way, because my brain doesn't normally, and it's fun to learn these, and that's why I explore them in I don't pick things apart. I just enjoy it. Like, it's weird.
Well, there's a perfect way to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire and Martin's writing, because, like, you know, to me, like I said, like, going into it, with some sort of preconceived ideas, but certainly in the first few chapters, I was thinking, like, okay, this is a postmodern experiment, like, heavily concerned with perspective, and I'm thinking of it very
100.
skeptically. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. We only know what these characters know. We probably they are probably the characters and are written the way they are because they don't know what's going on. Like, that's probably a
almost always the POV is the one who knows nothing, because that's the
Right.
whole point, is because we're learning it.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. So I'm going into it with that. But the genius of Martin's experiment here, like, one way that we can identify this author as, like, one of the great, like, geniuses of literature, is that he is running, I think, I could list, like, you know, a lot of other, like, formal experiments. I think the postmodern one is the key one for me. The perspective, I think, it's very involved. It's very ambitious. It's incredibly subtle. And yes, it's incredibly complicated, but he's such an incredible writer, like, and it's so successful because everything completely makes sense on not only a surface level, but on the next 12 levels down. Like, so when you read it from the perspective of those characters, everything they are seeing, everything they're doing, and everything they're thinking makes sense. The narratives that they piece together about what's going on make complete sense, and their motivations based on those assumptions make sense. And at no point until a reread, I think it gets talked about a lot once people are reading these a lot and trying to analyze it, like, oh, well, I wish this character wouldn't be so dumb and figure this out because we've already figured this other stuff. But you don't get that at all on a first read.
I hate when
On a
people
first
say
read,
that. Yeah.
You are with those characters, and all of their understanding and what they put together and what they hear and then what they do based on that, like, makes sense, and you believe it with them completely. And that's, like, so on the one hand, it's successful in that he's able to pull that off, but it's also really interesting and, like, a kind of next level experiment, because he's perfectly okay with most readers, and indeed, like, I think very primarily concerned with most readers reading the books and not appreciating the formal experiments he's doing. He does not give a shit that most readers ever clue into the postmodern experiment, that I'm sort of summing it up in that phrase. Like, and that's fine to him. And he is foremost serving the first time casual reader who eats a casual beach reader will take these books and just devour them, like, pay and love them, because they function on that level, like, as masterpieces. And the fact that there's so much else going on is, like, completely secondary. And the fact that he's doing both at the same time is like, and succeeding so incredibly on, and it's not even 2 levels, but on, let's say, those 2 levels is, like, I think how we enter him into the pantheon of all literature.
I was genuinely surprised when I started learning about the subtext in the books.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm autistic, so that's normal, but like, just I mean, you're absolutely right. I read it without getting any subtext whatsoever, and it was still a fascinating series.
And loved it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I recommended it to people left and right
on that level. Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, and
the
they should, and that's what's most important.
The story of the heroes is really interesting, but it is the first layer. What I love is that the subtext that I grab out of, that I'm like, oh, this is what he's doing, this is what he's saying. Like, oh, all the Duck and Egg books, are about how the nobility are completely crapping on the lowers, like especially the second one. Like I read Sworn Sword, I'm like, oh, this is about two people fighting over a stream of water, and it's the small folk who have to die, and Duncan's understanding that. And then I said that on a stream, and there are people who are like, I didn't pull that at all. Oh, okay. And it's weird of how I get still comments where people are like, this book isn't anti-war, and I'm tired of people saying that. And I'm like, how did you read it and not get anti-war out of it? Like, and it's not that they're wrong. I'm not saying that. I think it's really great. Like you were talking, Moonman, about the first two layers, and you completely nailed it, by the way. Going down to even those deeper layers, it's crazy how people get those greater themes are taking away such different things, which are still equally supported. Like I've heard people argue it's about climate change. They have a leg to stand on there. Like I think a lot of it's about classism, maybe because I'm me and I think a lot of things about classism, but I definitely think it's about the lower class being used by the upper class. And I feel like that's all over the book. Especially in my opinion, the best page of the entire series, which is the broken man speech from Septim Maribald, which I feel George said, fuck it, I'm just going to tell them what this is about. I feel like that's what that page is just him going, you know what? I'm just going to say it, and have Septim Maribald just say, you guys just keep using us small folk until we break.
That speech is how I get non-fantasy readers to read it.
It's so fucking good. It's one of the best pages I've ever fucking read in my life. It literally, the fifth or sixth time when I'm going through them nowadays, I still get stunned and awed by that speech. I have to stop what I'm doing and just go, how did this guy wait 3 books just to go shut up and listen in the middle of it and just blow my head up?
Yeah.
I was going to say too, Moonman, you definitely nailed what I think makes these books so good about, like, yeah, George, he'll take us through all of this in everyone's head. And as you said, I lost a little bit of where I was going because I was trying to remember it from before Taco and Russ went, but
sorry.
No, all good. You were saying, so it's also been a very long day for me. But yeah, the multiple levels of what George, it is one of the things that makes the book so worth talking about. All the different perspectives. That's where I was going. Is the reason that we as a fandom are able to have these conversations, and the reason that people like to talk about these books, and it's worth talking about the characters in that way, is because of how George approaches the characters and the perspective. Because it's worth asking, well, okay, if Stannis knew this, what would he do about that? Or if Littlefinger found this out at this time, how different would the story all go? And it's worth asking those questions in a way that it's not with other stories, because with other stories, at some point, they just say, the characters need to do this thing because that's where the plot goes. And there are times where you can kind of just tell, like, yeah, that's just kind of the way it went. Yep. And George just goes through so much work to have you in the characters' heads and have all of this stuff just come together in such a good way that it's like, I think that and specifically when we're talking about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon now, adapting George's work, and why so many people are disappointed a lot of times with the adaptations, is because they don't do that. And that's one of the things that I think that studios aren't recognizing that George does, and that makes the work so worth engaging with. Because that's what like Game of Thrones became so popular, because it was worth engaging with. It was worth talking at the water cooler with everyone else about what do you think the characters are going to do next. And it's only worth doing that if the characters are built in such a way that it makes it worth it. And as soon as you break that immersion and break the character like building that you've built up with people, it becomes not worth talking about the show or engaging with the characters in a similar way. And like, yeah, I think that if other media, or at the very least adaptations of George himself, would focus on all that you basically just laid out there more, they would understand like what draws readers in, why, like, if you want to make the next Game of Thrones, you need to have that. You need to have that ability to engage and be worth talking about in the hypothetical, because like it's built in such a way that makes it worth having that conversation.
If I'm just go ahead.
No, please.
I was gonna say something really. It was just if I'm sitting and wasting my time learning about your hero who's going from A to B.
Yeah.
And if at the end all I got out of it was he went to A to B, I'm gonna be pretty fucking upset. And if character goes from A to B and then at the end I go, oh, that's why totalitarianism is wrong. That's the fucking point.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Moon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, Michael, you're describing the fantasy Game of Thrones television adaptation that I produce in my head every day as I walk around. You know.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, I work in film and television. I don't do anything like cool, but I've always anytime I'm reading a book, pretty much, if I'm enjoying it, I'm producing a fantasy adaptation in my head. And so like Game of Thrones I got it. It's you know, I mean, like my fantasies include like how you would structure the budget and departments and like how you would do union deals and things. So like it's an involved thing. But
you're the one to talk to about this. You're saying you're the one to ask. Like you know
that is another way to put it.
You know enough to like have these conversations. Yeah.
Oh, about like why the TV shows suck?
So I'm curious. Yeah. One question I always wanted to ask someone who you might be the one to ask is like, okay, let's say you knew how the next two books were going to go. In 15 years, they want to reboot Game of Thrones. Could you, is it feasible? Because one of the problems I see that they run into, they don't have, it seems like, the confidence in shows to do what they did with the Lord of the Rings movies, which is like, we're going to film all of these at once. We're making the whole dang thing. Could you ever get a cast into contracts that aren't season by season, where these actors are saying, we are signing up for this 8 years. We are going to film 8 years. We're going to have 12 seasons. We know what we're signing up for. We don't need to renegotiate every year so that all of these actors are suddenly making $2 million an episode and breaking the budget when we're the biggest show in the, like get all of this stuff set out in advance so you don't run into all these giant problems, and then just film the whole dang thing in one go. Because that's the only way I could ever see them doing it successfully. Like, would the industry just not work that way? Would that just break how all this stuff actually works? Or is there hope?
Describing my fantasy?
Sorry, I had to say
Song of Ice and Fire production in my head. It would be to pre-script it and block shoot the whole thing. In that way, you could do it in a shorter amount of time. You would save money in the long run because when you do that, you can block shoot everything. So like you would build the set once and then you would shoot everything that takes place over the whole time instead of coming back and forth to it. You'd go to like some country and do all the scenes there, but like for the whole thing.
Right.
Now, could you actually do that? You can do anything if you have if you control the money, you have it. Like it would be incredibly difficult.
Jeff Bezos bought himself 3 seasons of The Expanse.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking right about the money thing.
If you're the guy, if you've got the money, it's difficult because it's not how the business works, and there's lots of reasons for that. And so anytime in a like that's like it's really contrary to how everything works. So anytime you're pushing against, a major like structural norms, like it's going to be a fucking problem. And so you'd have to have the fantasy there is you've got he puts out the other books and Warner says like we've got this now, let's do it again, and like somehow you convince them in this somehow you do what Peter Jackson did, convinced Lionsgate.
I think if the books were finished.
New Line.
Yeah, okay.
New Line.
Was
yeah,
it New
yeah.
Line?
I mean, no one's going to remake the show unless the books are finished.
Right.
If the books are finished,
No, and I
someone
don't
is
want
going to
them to.
remake the show eventually.
Yeah, eventually it'll happen, and it should be. My biggest worry was like it was just going to be like dead on arrival because they would be like, no actors are ever going to sign up for a contract that they can't renegotiate, and like
No, that's
like,
I didn't.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. It's just
You're
about
going to
the
have
money.
to give them a piece of the action right from the
Well,
start.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it
also
depends on who you're
negotiations.
hiring, right? Like, are you talking movie stars here? Or are you talking like just the long roster of like Royal Shakespeare
Right.
actors, like Royal Shakespeare?
But I mean, if you
Company actors,
negotiate that, like, you get 0.2% of the profit, then
Yeah.
however well the show goes, you could be making $2 million
Well,
an episode anyway.
I'm sure my union in the factory I work in is very, very different from any Screen Actor Guild or anything like that. But we negotiate for the next 5 years, and we negotiate a percentage of a raise each year because we know that the world changes and inflation changes, and we all get a raise each. So you would probably have to do your best. I think 12 seasons is going to be really hard, but I think one could negotiate a few seasons of a percentage raise.
What if they managed to produce it like Survivor? Then they could do 2 seasons a year.
No, I mean that's the way. This is all ridiculous, but like the way you would do it, you would for let's say 12 seasons of 10 episodes, like an HBO season or whatever it would be. The benefit of doing it like that is you'd be shooting off and on year round in multiple units around the world, and so you'd shoot it in less years than it took to shoot Game of Thrones.
Yeah. If you planned it all out, you feel like you could, right?
And it goes back to what Michael said at the beginning of how did they think, let's put out House of the Dragon season 1 and then wait and see how everyone thought, and then let's spend 2 years making the next one, and then wait to see how they thought, and then spend
I get it a tiny little bit with House of the Dragon because of how bad Game of Thrones went, but like in general, if you want your fantasy series to be good, like Netflix's Avatar, they should have either been like, hey, we're just going to go for this and we're going to make 3 seasons of Avatar, or we're not going to make it at all.
Yeah,
they kind of ruined a lot of the story of that Avatar because they shoved a bunch of stuff into season 1 that's not supposed to be in season 1. Clearly for fan service, so that they could get people to be like,
well,
oh, yeah,
and
look at that.
They shoved all these storylines together. The idea of, hey, let's make, and this can go back to Game of Thrones or anything, but the idea of like thinking that one season of a 30-episode animated series translates into one season of a 10 episode live action, or a 50 chapter to 70 chapter book equals one 10-hour season.
They could animate it.
I think animated is the best way to go. I think if you remade Game of Thrones, I think animated is the best way to go. And but that's me because I love it. I'm a huge animation freak. But
it would give you a lot of benefits. But I think like my dream is still just they nail a live action one that's just really good. But like animation would allow you to do a lot of dreams and voices and heads.
But also to the production design, and if you don't. Because say what you want about where they nailed Game of Thrones production design, they didn't, for the most part, in my eyes, actually depict the world. The North don't all. They made a decision. They made a decision to go super hyper realistic and not do any of the crazy sci-fi stuff of George.
Like the fact that North of the Wall always had snow on it. That fucked with my head when I was reading the books constantly. How poor does all the northern houses look? But look at how the Starks are actually dressed immaculate in the books. Winterfell is this beautiful, insane, gorgeous castle. It's not just stone bricks. And the Greyjoy armor is the most elaborate, crazy. Victorian Greyjoy has freaking tentacles going off his helmet. This is like Elder Scrolls fantasy. The books are like in our brains we might just think, oh, this is like low level
oh, they're all just wearing
the
chainmail.
show did that to a lot of people.
They're fucking not. I mean, look at House Brax is always what I'm going to bring up. I mean, Flemeth Brax is walking around with a 2-foot tall fucking unicorn horn on his helmet. If they did that in the show, like the only helmet they chose.
Oh, and the representative from the Iron Bank, whatever his name was.
Tyrannosaurus with the pyramid helmet?
Yeah.
But the only armor they went with was the Hound.
Yeah. And then they ditched that pretty quick.
They fucking ditched it before they did the point.
Yeah,
where different characters start wearing it who are all being hounds and broken men and dogs.
Yeah.
And they didn't fucking do it. Wow. But anyways, I think that production design is what I'm getting at, is if you actually want to do the books or the show right and adapt the books, it's just going to be easier to maybe go animation just because.
With the advancements in AI, I think we're going to be getting a strong blending of animation and like real actors in a nicely blended way.
There's also the ability now to just 3D print a lot of really cool, like they could 3D print a lot of the George armor and make it really light and once that, I'm sure that's also advancing.
Imagine if they did it like Space Jam or like a Muppet movie.
You can make anything.
God!
Like you can build anything. You can make any prop. You know, the reason
Song of
they
Ice
did
and
it
Fire
the way they
Muppets
did-
would be amazing.
Oh hell yeah! The reason they did, I mean, the way they did the look and feel of Game of Thrones on HBO was a choice about tone. You know, like they're basically producing a character political drama.
Yep.
And so, you know, it's different when you're reading the books. First of all, there's this perspective issue with some things, is like, what does this mean? And, you know, showing you in a way, it's not how my fantasy version would go, but I appreciate the way they did Game of Thrones, the look and feel of it on two levels. Like, first of all, it plays to the strengths, which are the characters and the political drama, and doesn't distract you with a bunch of other stuff by making it feel like kind of real and grounded. But the other way that's important, that really works, is because when the castles and the armor and all this stuff look to our eyes natural, basically like just how we would picture the most basic, like, faux medieval world, we are then in a way closer to the perspective of the characters, to whom all of this also does look and feel like a basic run-of-the-mill medieval world that they live in. Not the castles don't look, sometimes they come across and they're like, damn, this is a big motherfucking castle, but most of the time, and even then, they're kind of blasé about it. It's like, that's one of the biggest ones. Yep. But like, it's still just a castle, and they're describing, you know, all this stuff, but to them, this is the water they swim in. And so when if you make that choice to do a very elaborate, like high fantasy, like Jodorowsky's Dune, like visual presentation, you the audience now have this perspective where you're just being like shocked visually by all this crazy stuff, but you have these characters act like, you know, nothing's weird, and it can be cool, and I can get into that movie, but it is inherently campy. It always will be. Yeah.
You're right.
There's a way to do it. You can get into, but it's a, you know, that tends to be a more limited audience. It tends to be just confusing and alienating for people a lot of the time, and it doesn't play to the strengths of the characters and the political drama. That's not to say you couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, it feels almost Star Wars-y of you want us to take this like serious drama serious, but dude's a tiny green Muppet and talking to a giant walking carpet. So the inherent campiness. But of course, there, like you said, there are people who
I think Star Wars pulls it off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, I think in my fantasy version, I do all the stuff, all the crazy shit, and I'm a genius and I pull it off and the audience loves it and identifies with it as well as anyone did in 1977 when they saw the big walking dog and
an Empire
and just like goes with it. Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back, one of the most beautiful in my opinion, one of the best monologues of all of Star Wars is said by a puppet. Frank Oz is sitting underneath and he does the adventure excitement. For years I've watched, and you've just looked out to the horizon and never on your eyes on where you are, what you're doing, like this really cool speech about what Jedis crave. And at the end of the day, it's Frank Oz going, like, that is super silly, but I almost tear up. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I love this.
Completely buy it.
Oh yeah, completely buy it.
It can be done. But it's difficult. It's a choice that's harder, and you have to have real confidence. Yeah. And everyone around you and the people paying for it have to have real confidence in this. And it's easier, like when you're making all these choices, like in a TV show, like, it's easier just to go like, how do we play to our strengths here? How do we save ourselves? Like some hassle.
Yeah. One thing that I was just gonna say, one thing that I think
start doing things as soon as you're done.
Yeah. One thing that I think would help if they ever do get to remake Game of Thrones is that I talked about this. Is once they greenlight you in 2037 or so, the first time they had to sort of like introduce everyone to Westeros. Westeros will be a household fantasy name by the time they remake this thing. They could go all out on the camp and people would already have like a foot in Westeros in a way that they couldn't have done the first time that they did it.
Yeah.
And like the way that I like the scene that I always use to describe how they kind of brought you into the world is when Ned and Robert are having their chat about Bessie and her tits. It's just these two buddies. It reminds you of watching like your dad and his buddy when you're a kid just chat about the old days. It's Ned and Robert. They look like two guys chatting about high school football back in the day. Like their interactions and that vibe, like it does such a good job of like pulling the fantasy world to you, right? It's not even trying to pull you into the world. It's like bringing the world and being like, no, this is just like your world. In all of these ways that as people, the setting's just different.
Almost anti-fantasy is also what drove a lot of people into it of, okay, now let's do dragons and let's do crazy tree fucking gods and stuff. But what's this scene about? This guy backstabbing this guy. Oh, okay, so nothing to do with the fucking tree gods. Okay, cool. Like, that is what really makes it interesting. Which is us going, it's really cool of, hey, there's this mystical, insane fucking magic going on in the world with people hanging entrails up in these old interconnected fucking life trees. But that's not the story. Like, wait, that's not the story? No.
I mean, that's the books. The books mostly are the characters and the political drama and
with all the crazy shit. And that's
the
what
other
makes it
stuff,
so cool.
is on the sidelines. And so that's, you make that choice,
Yeah, the world is very different, but the people are the people that are, it's all the same type of people that you see in your world.
All right, well, that was probably the best 40 minutes we've ever had on our fucking stream. Thank you, Moonman. You definitely have a fucking invite onto any of these as long as you can put up with
Dude, I'm loving
bullshit.
it. Bring me on.
All right. So y'all remember
a great conversation in chat about the Muppets.
This one?
Hell yeah. Okay, I could talk for hours about the fucking Muppets, so don't get me started.
All right. Here,
they were just casting Muppets for the show.
Shut off take the brazier out and take the fire out, and now guess it.
Brick wall.
I have no idea what this
house block.
The sigil belongs to.
House stone.
Gray wall.
House wall. I couldn't begin to guess.
Gray brick. Gray stone.
Stonehouse.
Stonehouse.
Did you say that earlier, or did Tom say that?
Oh, I think that was Tom.
Oh, well, y'all look alike.
We do.
All right, let's just start killing.
Shit, this one I recognize. I've seen this motherfucker.
Yeah, same.
I missed 45 fucking comments. Dude, you guys are killing it over here. Dude,
okay, it's clearly one of the previous royal houses of the Iron Islands. Okay.
Yes.
So it's what are the ones before the fucking Greyjoys?
Here, I'll give you a clue. What was the name of the king, the like founder of the Iron Islands? Like the one Goodbrother's brother.
Oh,
right. The one that everyone
the Grey King.
The Grey King. Okay. So that helps. So this is the Grey King's head. So the word gray might be in it, is what I'm trying to get at.
Grey brother?
Nope. Goodbrother is his brother. No. Name of the islands?
Grey Gallows? Greyiron?
Ooh,
yes. Greyiron.
Greyiron.
Iron Islands and the Grey King. Michael, have you dived into the fucked upness of the Grey King?
So a little bit.
None of it makes sense. He does not make his story in the Iron Islands are like you're talking about two completely different fucking islands. Because like his throne is Naga's jaws. It's not even the sea stone chair, right?
Right.
Like somebody
it's clearly
pointed out,
some
like,
old weirwood-y tradition.
Yeah, but like it's like some dude who came up, murdered a weirwood because he kills Yig. And Yig is described as a giant white tree that eats people.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah. Yig was
just a fucking weirwood.
Yeah. Big weirwood on the Iron Islands. He kills it. He's got Naga's ribs, which is made out of weirwood. The throne is made out of old weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely, but like it's like heavily implied to be made out of weirwood to the point where it'd be weird if it wasn't.
Where does the sea stone chair come in then?
So yeah, well, that's the thing is, the sea stone chair might have been because it's made of black stone, kind of like the oily black stone.
It is oily. No, they do say oily.
Is it oily? Okay,
this is oily. It is not fused.
So the thought is that it could have either been there, like already. It was just one of the other.
They found it on the beach.
Yeah, the legend is it washed up on the beach.
But that being said, then why the fuck did the Grey King have a completely different throne?
Okay, if you want to take if you assume the legend is true that they just washed this up on the beach, by the way, like that's obviously like
not true. Yeah.
Well, no, obviously it's the Squishers just gave them a chair that spies.
I don't believe in the Squishers. That is one of my theories. The Squishers.
That's fair.
I got another one. Okay, I'll push back on that. Stones don't wash up on beaches, but they do. They are sometimes revealed by erosion.
That too.
Oh, so they were.
If it's like many places, if there are ancient structures long buried by time in the Iron Islands, some beach erosion, some like I
was thinking something akin to ambergris.
Ambergris?
It's made out of
whale
shit.
booger. Yeah, whale shit.
Ambergris is
a big storm,
Is that not whale booger?
It is vomited by whales, but it's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
It's the basis for like the most expensive perfumes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
cosmetics. But what Rust is smoking right now.
Yeah, ambergris. I bet it tastes amazing.
But like if we're dealing with these krakens and leviathans, they may have produced something like ambergris that produced this, that became this oily rock that it is something that could wash up on shore.
Not to go full David Lightbringer, because I try not to. But yeah, I think the oily blackstone and fused blackstone has something to do with the Great Empire of the Dawn. I know, lame. And from the other side of the Sunset Sea. And I think that's also where Battle Isle comes from, the basis of the fucking high tower, because it is Blackstone. I believe that is fused Blackstone, though. That was the giant fortress that the high tower that got built on top of. That also was there before everything fucking else. But which doesn't make sense. What doesn't make sense out of that is if all the fused or the oily Blackstone is all pre-First Men shit. Then it would have been before the Grey King,
Yeah.
So what? So the Grey King saw it, and he's like, "Fuck that, man! I just made this really cool weirwood. Bones seat, and I'm not going to sit in that one." And he just like leaves it in a closet until fucking 500 years later, and some asshole's like, "Dude, the Seastone."
Well, yeah.
got the drip.
If you worship one magical power source and this other chair funnels through a different magical power source, of course you'd be like, yeah, screw that demon thing. We're going to do my thing.
Okay. All right. So then that answers my question. So the Seastone chair was there during Grey King's rule. He just didn't fucking
Probably. That would make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
It was either there or what I was...
Second is what freaks me out.
Well, the other thing, Taco, is if it just shows up out of nowhere, what I'm saying is it was definitely left there. By whatever magical. So, like, if there's some underwater servant of the drowned god, whether you believe in squishers or mermen or whatever, the merfolk, then they put it there because using and sitting in the Seastone chair allows the drowned god to spy in the similar way to sitting on a weirwood throne, allowing the old gods to spy. So they're just like, hey, here you go. Like if you found a magical chair, it's like a Trojan horse, basically. That's my
Do you think the drowned god killed Balon?
Probably not. It was probably Euron with a faceless man, like, because that seems pretty straight up.
I think he just fell.
Yeah.
And Euron just cared about his brother, and he came to check on him.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a funny thing. Yeah. Fucking said all
that. Euron just happened to be really concerned.
Did we answer the last one that I did? Oh, yeah, we did. Greyiron.
Greyiron.
This thing.
Wait, what was the Brazier one? I missed it.
Stonehouse.
Stonehouse. Okay.
I mean, we talked about it for 50 minutes.
I was talking about Muppets, man.
Muppets, man.
Are those two snakes doing the do?
Nope. They're doing the do. They're water spouts.
Oh, Kermit, hit me with your coily dick.
So it's not like a caduceus.
That's my Miss Piggy.
Yeah, it's getting there. Frogs don't have the curly corkscrew dick though. That's certain ducks. Twinning. Never heard that as a that way. Twinning water spouts in there. Green on white.
I believe it's twining.
All right, it's probably twining. Now that you fucking said it.
I'd say the name.
Now that I heard you say it.
But
well, is it one N or two?
I don't want to answer that. I think that's need to know information.
It's a soft N.
Water spouts.
The what the fuck is that? Water spouts?
Yeah.
It's which one of tornado sucks water up?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a fucking weird sigil, dude. Want my hint?
Hint?
Yeah.
I don't know my hint. The hint I thought of, I don't think it's gonna help. So maybe I don't have one. I was gonna say, kind of sounds like a old wizard.
House Gandalf.
Sounds like Merlyn.
Yeah,
it sounds like Merlyn.
Merlyn. Yeah, Merlyn. No, it's just Merlyn.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like an old wizard. That just is an old wizard.
Frank sounds like Frank.
Okay. I cannot argue this logic. You win.
It is just
instantly
Merlyn.
fold. Okay. Taco's all in. I'm out.
Y'all fucking rust on that. All right, let me write done. All right. We're running out. That's awesome. We're fucking killing it. We normally try not to go past 3, but I don't see us if we have a couple more. Do we? Oh yeah, here's one. I think this might be the last one.
Another cool one.
Yeah, it's a really cool one.
Jesus Christ.
I like any moon sigil I'm into.
Yeah.
Is that a
moon boy?
A bloody crescent moon.
So these guys are like a bloodier version of the Danes.
Yeah, bloody Danes.
House menstruation.
Oh my god. Yes. The end of the
No, if it was that, it would be blue liquid.
Oh, what are we doing here, guys? What are we up to?
We're guessing sigils.
Oh, shut up. All right. Yep, that is my last one. I had to add the Greyiron one like late. I didn't realize I didn't have it. StreamYards does this thing where if you add a bunch of things at once, it just will make one not show up. And I have to go and look to see which one didn't. and I missed Greyiron, but now I got it. And then this one, here's a hint that's not much of a hint. It's the last one alphabetically. So it starts with a later letter.
Elemento. All right, Taco, here's your chance to start with Elemento.
All right, Elemento Q. Ah, shit. Fucked it up.
Was there any Y or Z? I don't think there's any. Are you North Dakotans?
No, or is this somebody when we made fun of it earlier? Somebody in the comments is like, every other country says Z. You're the ones that are wrong.
That is the least American thing I've ever heard. Every other country is wrong.
Every other country knows meters too, you fucking losers.
Yeah.
Don't.
We were supposed to do meters. We were supposed to be metric. But the ship that was bringing the standards got taken by pirates. And by the time it got here, Thomas Jefferson, who was the nerd who wanted to do it, wasn't president anymore. So it just didn't happen.
That's very funny.
How long's a foot? Figure it out. Bye.
I don't know, man. How big are barleycorns this season?
Go find your nearest football field and measure a third of a yard, damn it. Don't you have football fields everywhere?
What are we fucking doing? Are we making this country or what?
The fire moon is waning.
We're gonna make it 10 inches so then it's easy to break down. No, fuck it, 12. Why? It's bigger than 10. Ah, shit. Okay.
The entire Angloid world does something is not like an endorsement. That there's so many better ways to convince me that like American culture has something wrong, but the Angloids worldwide, the Australians and the Scottish like are all on board with something. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
If you go with that as your standard, you'll hit 50-50 as to whether or not that's okay. Should you be on board with what all of them are on board with?
At best.
I only like the American system over the metric system because I know it. But also metric system's so easy that if you fucking learn it for 10 seconds, you know it.
Well, I'm glad I learned that 1 second. We were smart to do ours first. You learn ours first, and then
when it comes to measuring temperature as it pertains to humans, Fahrenheit is also a lot better than Celsius.
Yeah, but when it comes to like factory work, when it comes to boiling, so on and so forth, like what we do, we keep everything. The only thing that we have measured in Fahrenheit is the temperature of the factory. Like, so we know it's 80 degrees.
And that's really all. And that's what it's for.
Celsius,
I mean,
it's so much fucking easier.
The human being was, I believe, the thermometric substance used for the Fahrenheit scale. Because, like, there's just no power behind saying it's 42 degrees out, you know?
Yeah.
You want to be able to say, oh, my God, it's 105 degrees out. That sounds like a hot temperature, you know?
I just like it when you get hit with a 99 or higher Celsius liquid and you're like, oh my god, how hot was that? That burned me. It's like, oh, it was only 90 degrees. Stop bitching. But you know, we boil things under a vacuum, so we actually get things in the factory hotter than 100 degrees, and then we spray it out our stuff and it immediately flashes in front of us, and then we just go on with our day. It doesn't scare us at all. God, I love factory.
I can get behind the metric system. I'm just saying, like, telling me some Bogan Down Under or some like Ulster Scott bog people are doing it is not convincing me. Like any other reason.
As long as it works. I don't. It's all just whizzles and wazzles. None of this really matters, right? Don't I got a thing for that?
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Yeah, this world doesn't even exist. All right.
I just noticed that he was wearing a bow tie with that neck brace.
He's getting married to a Russian mail-order bride who's on the other side of the door because she refuses to see him. And the giant milkshake next to him is also getting married. Are you not paying attention?
I've never seen it.
It's Aqua Teen Hunger Force, dude. It's the shit. Do you guys want to know?
Yeah.
How's Wynch?
Okay.
Wynch.
How does George choose to spell Wynch?
Well, take a fucking guess.
W-Y-N-C-H.
You could have hinted a lot better for that one.
W-I-N-C-H. All right, here's how we do spelling. Every I
is a Y.
Add a Y. Every fucking E or A, add an A-E. Fuck it. Like, oh my god.
And that's how we get House Ironwood.
House didn't know how to fucking say it until somebody told me it was Ironwood. House Yarwood. Like, I didn't fucking have a clue.
I don't think we've even necessarily confirmed that it is Ironwood.
I don't know. Cletus
It might not be Ironwood.
The best named character. Ironwood. We're at 3 hours, so and we did all of them. So we are on OT. We can end whenever you want, or keep going. But I think we did every house, and we made it to 3 hours. So if you guys want to see Squirtle giving thumbs up, we got some of that.
You have a squirrel giving a thumbs up?
Squirtle. Thank you.
Oh.
I also have just Bluey's dad dancing. And I have this for some reason.
Oh man.
I'm a complex guy, dude.
On,
you can't just jump into my fucking world. Come on.
There's this British guy on TikTok who got huge. He's a train spotter. And he just got huge because of the way he just gets so excited about things. He created this whole personality as well. What was his name? He made up his username was like absolutely perfect. Train spotter TikTok.
I always thought Train Spotting was just a messed up movie about heroin addiction.
Francis Bourgeois. That's what his name goes by. Yeah, and he's like and he's so like posh as well.
Oh my god. He sounds like Bane.
But the way he gets about trains, just like so, like the sheer joy when he sees the train that he wants to see, it's just contagious.
I hate it when people get really passionate about something stupid. Nerd! Just because us. Yeah, thank you, Moon Man. Everyone, that was Moon Man. It's the last time he's gonna put up with my ass for 3 hours. I'm glad we got him on.
I had a great time. I like, I mean, I just feel like a failure at this game, but I like talking about the song.
No one ever wins this game.
No, it's made up and the points don't fucking matter. I didn't even want it to be a game. But
don't comfort me. If I want to fucking pout about it, I'm gonna pout about it.
All right, you fucking weirdo. Just go live in a boat. Fuck. Oh, so you're gonna be the only one who survives the flood. Good for you. North Dakota, the flood ain't making it this far. It's gonna get here, realize there's nothing, and then leave. Oh my god, there's nothing to even drown out here. What the hell? And I was gonna say forever ago, the rain never bothered me in Washington because I went from -40 winters, -50 wind chill winters to raining winters. I was like, yeah, I'll take this. Like, okay, is that bad? Like, it's like, yeah, but it just rains. It's like, dude, it's literally outside kills you out here. You can't be outside for too long or you will die. That's the condition.
I almost went to the University of Maine at Fort Kent,
God, that's fucking awesome.
Which is it's 45 minutes north of Quebec City. That's how north it is.
I don't believe it's any more north than the latitude because it goes down. Does Maine actually hit a higher or longitude? Sorry, a higher longitude than the border of Canada?
Oh yeah, Maine pokes way up there. Yep.
Oh, I thought that it's about the same because it goes down over the Great Lakes and comes back up.
But
I was always told that
all the public parking spots have plugs for dipstick heaters. That's how cold it gets.
These do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We get, not to pull out my cold dick and measure it, but I would say North Dakota is worse just because there's no fucking ocean, and even like in Minnesota, it's not as bad because you have the Great Lakes. Like, lakes really cool everything down. Being a flat, nothing wasteland with nothing but wind and cold. Like, I have a bunch of friends who live in Canada in the end of winter, or because they don't live, of course, like way up north, but I usually beat them when it comes to being colder than them. Just because North Dakota is this weird brand of nothing, fucking flat, cold wasteland. Like, it needs an ocean like Maine. Even Washington was the same, like, longitude, but it doesn't get as cold because you have the fucking ocean right there. I remember it snowed when I lived there, and it was like not even an inch. It just like slightly coated everything, and all hell broke loose.
So to circle back,
yeah.
Sorry, just the reason Maine is further north than Quebec City is because that part of Canada dips down.
Dips down. Yep.
So Minnesota is our northernmost point for the lower 48.
Because of the spot that jumps up. Yeah, the spot that jumps up in Lake of the Woods and grabs a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it goes more north than the main border because it jumps up Lake of the Woods and grabs like whatever 2 miles, like nothing
for no reason.
Woods. There is like resorts there. I had a friend who worked on an island in Lake of the Woods, and he would have to take like a big like Zamboni dam thing out there, like on treads. It wasn't a Zamboni, but it was on treads out there in the winter, or a boat out there. And I remember he spent like 3 months, didn't leave the island. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go cook, and he was like gone for 3 months. And I went and I picked him up like from Lake of the Woods, whatever town it was, and he gained like 70 fucking pounds because he's like, there's nothing to do. I just cook all day and just eat. I was like, bro, you can't do this job again. And he goes back, and then that time he's like, no, I decided I wasn't going to eat any of the food I cooked. Like, I ate food afterwards. Like, I didn't eat during my shift. And then he lost a lot of weight. But I remember, like, yeah, I guess if I was on an island with nothing to fucking do, I would gain weight. Like, oh, no. But anyways, that's my Lake of the Woods story. Put that on your bingo card. We should like have an AI generator come up with just random sentences or topics and do bingo cards for this, because it might be pretty fun.
Have to have the AI listening too.
Yeah.
And calling bingo.
The AI is
honestly, we don't even need to be here for this.
That's my dream, is that the AI just gets good enough that I can just tell it, hey, make me Game of Thrones YouTube videos, and it's just like button. Give me another old man. Give me another one.
Who else is old man? All right, do we want to call it? I feel like we're getting blood from the stone.
I think we ran out of tangents. Yeah, I'm pretty.
Somebody want to bring up?
If I resent anything about this experience, it's that we left a number of threads unpulled in some of our discussions here that I was thrumming to discuss with all of you. Well, and we went down other paths. So
that'll happen.
I am happy to.
You are going to have to get used to that.
Yeah.
And have enjoyed myself very well, but don't say we've run out of tangents, because I'm still here.
Listen here, you little man. We did not run out of tangents.
We've run out of my brain power for listening to tangents and responding.
So I said at the beginning that I had
your mother finding your tangents in the trash. You do children in Africa, they don't even have enough tangents.
So I said at the beginning I have a clip that needs a specific character brought up for me to play, and we still didn't get to play it. So maybe next time.
Was it Renly? Did you want me to talk about my videos more?
Nope. No, it's a Westerland character.
Oh,
and it's
Uncle
not a
Gary.
horse. It's not a horse. That's my clue.
Uncle Gary.
Nope. But we are going to end
horse, of course.
Rust.
You wouldn't talk to Tyrek, of course.
No, it's not a horse.
Unless Tyrek happened to be the famous Mr. Dead. Anyway.
Next time we do the stream, we should all put peanut butter on our gums.
Oh, I don't get it. Oh, but like Mr. Ed? Okay, that's funny. I get it now. Okay, Russ, do you have anything that you wanna? Have you worked on a video that isn't out yet, or are you about to put on a video?
No, nothing to plug at the moment.
What's the name of your channel and your tiki-taki?
Rust F Shackleton on all of the platforms.
Check it out.
I've now seen a number of Rust's videos. I've resisted the temptation to leave just like the sunglasses emoji under a few of them, lest anyone interpret that. But I've enjoyed them.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like roast videos. I'm also a fucking. I like the stranger than fiction, weird history shit that sometimes you'll do, and yeah, that's always one of my many nerdisms. Michael, do you know what you're putting out on Saturday?
Yeah, I've got one that I've got to finish editing. So I've got a video I hope will be out on Saturday about Jojen. I took kind of September off.
Jojen.
Yeah,
makes me hungry just thinking about it.
A little bit of that.
Oh, is that because you're participating in Locktober?
No, because I'm talking about cannibalism.
Oh, okay. I'm not the only one who knows
Little
what Locktober
Professor
is,
or Little Possessed or no, that's not it.
Little Grandpa,
Little Grandfather.
Yeah, Little Grandfather. Yeah, that's a handle, dude. He should have been a rapper.
Locktober is a sex thing.
Oh, okay, sounds great. No, I'm not participating. I'm married. I don't know, man.
But,
we haven't scheduled the one for October yet. What was your last? Y'all are why are you laughing? What's the joke? What was your last Saturday video, Michael?
So that's what I was gonna say. Is I haven't put out a video.
Oh shit!
I was gone at a bachelor party this last weekend anyway, but
nice.
I was kind of burned out at the end of House of the Dragon and like making videos after that, and I was like, I'm gonna get like 4 videos filmed, so I have a backlog, and then I can just ignore this for a month. And then I didn't do that, and I ignored it for a month anyway. So now I'm getting back into it. I'm hoping that
you're at a bachelor's party. Does that mean we're gonna see you in a Dancing Bears video?
Jesus.
What?
I don't think I ended up on any video.
Well, because if people do know what it is, there's a chance that they're like shaking their head, and if they don't know what it is, they're gonna Google it and then they're gonna shake their head. Like just like why?
We're talking about A Song of Ice and Fire. There's nothing more offensive that I can mention that isn't done in the books.
Bears. I know, but we don't mention those things. I already said it. Like I mentioned one of them earlier, and I'm like, yeah.
But I did while I was taking the time off from A Song of Ice and Fire, work on some other projects that I hope will one day see the light of day. Taco's heard part of one of them.
You're gonna finally do Fallout content with me?
No,
I gave up, man. No one was watching it.
Wow.
No one cared.
That's not the one I've got in the works. I'm debating how much I put out on this channel versus if I'm going to be announcing a second channel soon. But stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it turns out no one wanted to watch my lore video on Fisto, the sex robot. New Vegas lore. Amazing. Moonman, when is your fabled third video going to come out?
Ooh, wow. Starting with a dig, huh?
I know. It was a tease.
Wow.
It wasn't a dig.
Fabled.
Oh, my God, because I'm looking forward to it. All right, I didn't word that right.
It could be argued that I started
anticipated third video
production of the first 2 videos, which were released simultaneously, really one video. It could be, depending on how you mark it down on the calendar, it could be argued that I started work on those 1 year before posting them. So those were 40 minutes. The script is looking like for part 3, it's going to be about 50 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So, maybe next summer.
So there's
that's where the high production value.
There's a couple of brands of YouTubers out there, and Moonman's in the Alt Shift X Glidus. You'll be happy when you fucking get a brand.
Well, that's okay. I hope sooner. Really.
Well,
it did take me that long,
so
but I'd also never. I hadn't touched any editing software since junior high, 9th grade, like video club, and I'd certainly never done any like compositing or animating or anything. And did I mention the original artwork, like the fucking banners and characters that I had? Collaborators produced. So yeah, it was elaborate, but this should be faster, but life gets in the way. So it is coming quite soon, actually. It's coming along. So it is expanding, the first parts of the theory, it's really just like a rush through the headlines to try and justify, like, in the barest, in the absolute thinnest possible way, the headline takeaways of this political reanalysis of the the politics of Westeros, or of the War of the Five Kings, or whatever, primarily to do with Stannis and Renly and the Peach, and there's a lot more to talk about, like a lot more, and I'm just barely getting started with this next 50-minute video, which will be will feel like a detour if you're wanting me to get, like, okay, let's get dig into the deeper into the text of say the parlay between Stannis and Renly, or Stannis's like conversations with Davos, because to start to grasp like what we're doing here, we have to step back for a moment and think about like the fundamentals of how the players of the game understand the politics of Westeros. And to do that, we're going to talk about Mance Rayder for an hour and how he understands the politics of Westeros, and what he has and what his analysis and his plans have in common with Stannis Baratheon.
So hence the North, because you kept saying, "Oh, I'm kind of hanging out in the North." All right, awesome.
We are working on some northern banners. Yes.
Okay.
So I don't have any of my own things to plug. I want to recommend The Penguin on HBO.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it.
I'm not even like a Batman guy. This is just a really good show, and Colin Farrell's performance is
nuts.
It's
like I know it's him, but I don't know it's him.
His performance makes it an instant classic. Everything else is done well as well, but
just the makeup, it's just everything else.
Yeah, top-notch HBO shit.
Moonman, I do have to say I was extremely impressed and almost like angry at you when you put out those, because I was like, "What the fuck is this dude just coming out with this really well-made, polished video with all this high-quality shit?" And I'm over here with my pop figures and my fucking Clefairy covering up my modem so no one can see it, just fucking making dick and fart jokes about Christopher Botley. And this
like your dick and your fart jokes.
Yeah, my dick.
That pause did a lot. That was They say a comma makes all the difference, right? That was a spoken comma.
I'm making that joke on in the green room right after. All right, I think that's the perfect place.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. I
don't.
It's a midlife crisis that you are benefiting, I hope, from that.
No, you fucking. It's however you justify chasing a hobby that makes you feel good is a fucking worth it. Like whether it's midlife crisis, this got to be a better one than buying a fucking Mercedes or whatever the hell people drive nowadays.
I mean, it's either a midlife crisis or it's a lifetime of pent up, unrealized creative, including cinematic ambition. Finally finding an outlet.
Yeah, you don't.
I really work in movies, but I don't write them or direct them.
You don't have to pitch it to this crew. I feel like we all know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. All right. I think this is a good cue to leave. And thank you guys for watching. We went over 3 hours again. We did every sigil, and we're gonna do some spooky topic next month. So my stream falls on 31st on Halloween. So if I can get enough of these guys to ditch their cool costume parties to come do this, hopefully we're going to do a Halloween one because it's when it falls on. Be 9 o'clock, so
I'm too old to trick or treat, Taco. So
that's good.
We should do a penguin stream.
But I have a 4-year-old. Well, on any channel that isn't a Song of Ice and Fire based, coming from the guy who's been putting out Homestar Runner shorts. All right, that's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later. And nice having you on, Rust. And peace.
See y'all.
Thanks, guys.